also. World's like shittiest bitch. It's fine.
I'm probably the worst shittiest bitch because I don't even know if I'm more. I'm just like.
Alright.
Wait.
Karen says, just kill me, it's whatever.
He's way too blitzed to come. Okay. So unfortunately, we are missing 2 people, so the massive epic plan that I had planned for today is not going to happen. So
Not my fault.
It is not. So we are going to bullshit today's game. But to recap,
Look
when
how well we're gonna do.
I don't care.
Not Will.
When last we left the group, they had been commissioned to help find an ancient artifact by a tiefling pirate. After much journeying around and investigating, you found that your most likely place to find this artifact, the Windraiser, was in the ancient Somerset Kingdom, currently known as the Cat's Eye or Catholica. You have made your way to Onset Island, where the hitherto unknown butler of one Sweeto showed up on the island to inform him of a grave problem with his mother. Sweeto left off the bat, leaving the butler, Mr. Robard Edwin Speedwagon, in his stead to fulfill his pledge to the group to help find this adventure, or to help find this ancient artifact.
Is this someone switching characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's switch characters for story reasons, and also just because he wanted to try something different.
Now he's already a Speedwagon.
Now he's already a Speedwagon. Robard Edwin Osmond.
I heard Speedwagon and I was like, wait.
Already a Speedwagon.
Okay. We like puns.
After figuring out what was going on there, you realize that unfortunately your next destination was going to take you to the island currently known as Darktide, once known as Eventide, and previously Dusktide. Sin, the person charging this group, is very, very against that and decided to have a ruckus to do that night on the island, where most of you went to a very, very small bar and partied most of the night, except for the 3 more somber characters who sat outside getting blazed, but calmly, gently, talking to each other, getting to know each other. It was a good little social smoking. 2 of them made sense, the dwarf and the halfling. The large human, a little weird, but you know, he had a very nice pipe with some very good stuff. And that is, at the moment, where we had left the party. You.
Me.
It's been a number of years since you had made this pact with your patron. Occasionally she'll send you out to investigate certain things, give you cryptic hints and whatnot. But a few weeks ago, you were in the midst of sleep, and you were plagued by dreams you couldn't quite comprehend. It was a very restless night, but you found yourself in your dream surrounded by darkness. But when looking around, you realized it wasn't just pure darkness. There were a feathery dome surrounding you. You realized that they were raven feathers. And a voice echoed through these raven feathers and said, "My child, I don't often ask for much."
I'm gonna try and transcribe this whole thing. Okay, yes.
Besides, there's gonna be you can go back and watch whatever the fuck you want
Oh.
after it's done being live. Yeah. She says, "My child, I don't often ask for much, but there is a rising concern that I cannot solve myself. So I'm sending you. You are to find your way to the island known as Darktide. There is a woman there who's doing things I am very much against. Fate has seen to it that you will find your way to this island and have allies in this mission I'm sending you on. From there, your path is up to you. But you must prove yourself to me, this power that I've given you and kept you alive." And the voice kind of dissipates, sound. The dome doesn't move. You can hear the flapping, like millions of birds around you. And then you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, but not an anxious feeling at all. You didn't wake up as if from a nightmare. You didn't wake up as if from anxiety, you just woke up sweating. From there, you did find yourself a transport to Onset. You have been there for a few days now, but you have been entirely unable to find any way off the island at all. Until last night. The ship had arrived. You've seen ships come and go here and there, but maybe 1 or 2 ships have just stopped by to resupply, but none of them would even go anywhere near this destination that you wanted to go to. But this new ship is different. You have seen a number of strange folks you weren't expecting to see in a group together. Halflings, dwarves, gnomes, tieflings, humans, all together. Orcs, goblins, Kenku, all of them together as a group, moving together through this town. A few of them split off one way, a few of them split off another way. Eventually, all of them reconvened in the same location, a small hut on the side of the island. What do you want to do? It is currently in the middle of the night. It's a very small island. There are a few huts here and there. One huge, large dock that currently there's a rowboat docked at. The island itself is very, very small. Just off to the side of it is a small gangplank, bridge, and then a smaller island. In the main island, there's a large rocky outcropping that goes up to a flat top and a small kind of forested area.
So like a plateau.
It's like a plateau. There's like a small forest. It's maybe only about 500 square feet.
Well, if I saw them go towards this house.
About what time is it?
At this point, I would say it's about 10 or 11.
Oh. About halfway through the... Well, go. Sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna say that I'm going to send my friend to see if there's seem to be people awake in and around that hut before I approach.
Okay. So you would know after the 2 characters who aren't here are the ones that you're gonna fucking see, so let's roll for them, shall we? Bard's there too, but...
Yeah!
Alright, so for your Raven, I want you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, did not. I need to find the game stats for the Raven. Had them and another thing that was on the phone.
And then your phone. Yeah.
And then my phone back. Yeah.
Does she have Beyond?
I don't.
Is it just a generic beast thing is what you're looking for?
I've got it. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, it is.
Like I have it automatic. I have it pulled up just because Mudry would life.
Yeah, no, that open. Okay.
DL.
Yes, you do see a light inside this hut. It's probably about the size of this room, the hut itself. There's a light on. You can see shadows moving inside. You can hear through the Raven the raucous sounds of jovial music and laughter. And outside is 3 creatures sitting in the sand. It's not as sandy like a beach, but it's more like a rocky place with sand on it. There are 3 creatures sitting there. A very, very large human-looking creature, a halfling, and a dwarf.
Human looking.
Human-looking. He's very large for a human, so he's human-looking.
Okay. I will then approach.
He's probably at the point of drunkenness where he's just constantly repeating, "Piece of shit!"
Is this the halfling?
No.
No. Okay.
This is from inside the hut.
This is inside the hut.
It's a puppet. Oh. Who's here? Of the 3 that are outside, who's here metagaming? You. Just you.
My actual character.
Okay.
By door.
The dwarf.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do that. Okay. I'll approach the human. Why not? So
Strangling you.
just gonna say, I'm sorry, did you come on that ship over there?
As you approach, the human stands. Again, very imposing figure, built like a tank. 6'7". He immediately stands and does a very elegant bow to you, madam.
Gonna step back a couple of steps. I don't mean to impose. I'm just looking for a passage to Darktide? Darktide Island, I can't remember my handwriting.
Well, it would appear, as far as I know, that that actually happens to be our next destination. Is that not correct? And he looks down at the other two, the halfling and the dwarf. And the dwarf is sitting there with a very elegantly carved stone pipe, full plate armor, huge shield and axe on his back, and he's, aye.
Right then. Who are you lot?
We are the Iron Pints.
Is that a drinking league?
It may as well be.
Alright. Hello. I'm Ashley, and this is Gwen. And I'm just gonna sort of lean my head against the little bird, big bird sitting on my shoulders, a massive raven. Kind of a nervous tick. Just lean over and he kind of bends down and grooms my hair a little bit. And I say, I've been trying to get off this island, but no one seems to want to travel to Darktide, so I've been stuck for a bit here.
That seems to be the general consensus of this place. We are leaving at some point, and we are in fact going to Darktide. Why do you ask?
I've just got some business on the island. If you wouldn't mind taking on another passenger.
You'd have to ask the tiefling inside, but as far as I am aware, people don't have business there anymore.
I have some research to do.
Sorry.
Okay, I want to ask, how are you feeling as you're saying this? Like, you're kind of not exactly using the right words. Bardur insight checks everything because he doesn't trust a single goddamn person and just rolled a nat 20. So, that never happens. It really doesn't.
For Bardor's insight rolls.
Well, I mean, you do know the truth of the situation.
Yeah. So he knows that
certainly
you
a
are
little
very
nervous.
obviously leaving out
A little
very
standoffish,
important
yes.
information. He takes a long drag of his very ornately carved stone pipe, and he like exhales.
And stone.
Stone carved stone pipe.
Stone carved stone pipe. And he kind of like narrows his eyes. So why are you really going to that place?
I don't entirely know. I had a bit of a nightmare about it, and I've learned to follow dreams like that.
You know that will get you killed, right? I can tell from almost experience.
I think I have to go anyway.
Do you carry on you any sort of symbol, besides the obvious, of your patron?
There's a mark on the inside of her wrist.
Would it be visible?
Yeah, it's probably just an area of darkened skin in the obvious shape.
Would you be trying to hide it at all?
But she's wearing a cloak, like a sort of waist-length kind of capelet thing. So she's not, bare armed, but she's not deliberately trying to hide it. No.
Okay. He does not notice that. He kind of stands up in all of his 4'6" glory, and just kind of like stands there and stares at you. I don't trust you. You're not saying something. And from what I can tell, those who want to go to that place had better have a damn good reason.
I don't know the reason.
Then why are you going?
Because I know that I have to.
And why do you have to?
Because I have to do the things that my dreams tell me to do.
Are you okay up here? He kind of like taps his helmet with his stone pipe.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm quite well, thank you. How are you?
Okay. He kind of like takes a few steps back. Doesn't block your path or anything, but he takes a few steps back. You do notice, actually, by looking in when you look in his eyes, there's a darkness to them, like an almost pitiable darkness. Like there's something in his past he's not saying that makes you feel sorry for him.
Okay.
And it makes you kind of want to trust him or help him. You're not sure which. But it's not a good look in his eyes at all. It's not an evil one, but it's not a good one.
About this time, I actually stumble out.
A small black bird stumbles out of the hut.
Black and brown.
And I think Gwen's the raven just sort of makes a little like noise at you.
And I, as I'm like walking out, I'm looking backwards into the like piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit!
And then
You're all pieces of shit!
what? And then I turn around and I'm like, wait, hello, bud.
Hello? This is Gwen.
Hello?
Say hi, boy. And Gwen just kind of makes a little chattering sound.
By the way, what exactly do I see? Like,
Yes. A very young human woman, like early 20s. She's fairly average looking, kind of olive skin, dark eyes, average build. Her hair is very, very light. It's like ash blonde, like just between the line between unnatural and natural variation for human hair color. And she has a very large raven on her shoulder who's currently a little puffed up, and she seems also a little tense about it.
yeah, for me, I'm trying to remember how tall I am.
The same size as Butter.
Same
Actually,
size
I
as
believe
Butter.
you're 1 inch taller.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I'm 4'6".
4'6".
4'6". Yeah, 4'6". Oh no, I am 4'5".
Oh, okay.
So we're the same height. But black eyes and
No, because Bar's 4'4".
see, we got everything figured
How
out.
often does the character's height actually play? Unless you're huge, doesn't come on
Yeah.
very often.
Weights, on the other hand.
It's like black feathers with spotty brown feathers all over kind of the body and wings. Beak has a slight chip in it on one side, and he is in ragged, like, not bad leathers, but very, very worn leathers. That they don't fit him. He has like green and brown hooded cloak underneath leather armor with yellow shirt and blue and stained white pants, kind of thing. Like very mismatching.
Yeah.
He borrowed them, kind of thing.
Yeah, and Ashling's just kind of regular traveling clothes, dark colors, leather armor, kind of long dark skirt, and probably dark blue cape, little capelet, hooded capelet.
Nice.
Yeah. Everything simple, loose, easy to move in. Alright. This is Gwen. Ash, are you there? It's fine. I can't really do an Irish accent even though I have an Irish name, so I'm doing kind of British instead. Hello.
Neat.
Can you talk?
I can speak common, you tool.
I'm sorry.
He talks a lot, but he only repeats.
Oh. I guess
Only repeats.
it's a little like this one. He doesn't like to talk really though. Are you all together then?
Begrudgingly.
Right then. Then you said to speak to the tiefling.
I'm heading up to that plateau and playing my squeeze box. Drunkenly.
You fuck off.
Yeah.
Up to the side, yeah.
Is he gonna be alright?
Probably. There's two things we apparently have too much of: birds and drunks.
Right then, tiefling. And I'll try and walk in if no one stops me.
No one, in fact, stops you. You go into this small hut. There's a number of people in there. You see a goblin, you see an orc kind of hunched in, you see a gnome, you see just two kind of small humans. All these people kind of crowded in together. They separated a little bit now that the one largest and two others have left, but they're still kind of scrunched in together. They're all kind of playing various instruments, a fiddle, mandolins, a hurdy-gurdy. Everybody but the gnome and one of these smaller humans are playing instruments, and they're all kind of cheerfully playing and drinking and having a good time. They're cursing at each other. One of the humans is mostly keeping to himself but drinking, but everybody else is really ruckus and rowdy with each other. It's almost like you walked into a bar brawl, but not really.
I will go find... Is there only one tiefling?
You actually do not see a tiefling.
Oh. I'm gonna go talk to the quieter seeming human then.
A small young human walks up to you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, I'm Aisling and this is Gwen. I'm looking for your captain, I suppose. I was supposed to go find a tiefling.
How drunk are you at this point, though?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Roll
Because,
drunk.
you know,
Yeah,
you and
I was
I are
gonna say,
both, well,
Constitution
you're a
check.
drunk.
I've
I'm
just
an
been sitting
alcoholic.
behind the
There's
bar
difference.
pouring.
You have
drinks
Constitution
back
check,
to
go.
back.
13.
That's under
Plus
ability.
1 to con, right?
Yeah, +1.
Yeah, you're pretty tanked, but you're not like falling over puking drunk. But you're pretty well gone. But you still have like mental faculties.
Right. Trying to remember exactly. Memory recall from last week.
So there's a small, young, blonde human woman.
Right.
You know that is Sin.
Okay.
She did that before going into
Right.
old grandma.
Was it grandma or grandma?
It was grandma.
Oh, that's what I thought.
With your soup.
That's right.
It's based off of Link's.
soup?
It's based off of Link's.
Oh. Captain. Oh, right. You want the blonde sitting over there.
Do I see one?
You do. You see a blonde woman. Smaller, definitely younger, probably about your age. Human. Even though she's sitting next to a large orc, like she's just like rousing with them and everything. She is wearing very simple kind of leathers, but the clothes underneath are vibrant blue and a very, very ornate red coat that flows around her with gold leaf trimming. This woman is very busty, very, very alluring kind of woman in all the right ways. This coat kind of hugs everything about her.
Okay. I have Eldritch Sight, so
What does that do again?
at will detect magic.
Oh, yeah, you
Do
can.
I see an illusion? Or
You detect magic.
I detect magic on her.
Oh, a whole lot around her. Not just like her whole body seems to be emanating magic at this point.
I'm gonna. Is she disguised?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that from time to time.
Right.
Bonfire! No.
I create bonfire.
Alright then, I will go up to her and run the whole shebang again. Hello, I'm Ashley, and this is Gwen.
You seem like you're in the wrong place, darling.
Actually, I was told to find you, a different you, but you. I'm
Kind of
looking-
sits back, and the orc actually kind of sits up a little bit straighter and puts his fist down on the table and just kind of like leans down and looks at you.
Gwen, this is. Right, I'm looking for a passage to Darktide Island. You seem like the only one around here.
And why the
Yeah.
bloody hell are you going there?
You want to go there?
I don't want to go there. You told us to go
I
there.
didn't say go there.
I want to go everywhere but there, or to face a fucking kraken, but you want to go kill yourself.
I didn't say go there. Just
How about another round?
shut up.
So why do you want to go to that hellhole? People don't come back from there.
Well, it's a place people are dying. It's probably a place I'm supposed to be.
You have a death wish. This ain't a suicide ship, darling.
That is currently holding a gigantic drink. And just was this actual size? I'm small. I'm 3 feet tall. I'm very small. No, I didn't notice.
That's not 3 feet.
Pocket gnome.
Oh, snaps.
Everyone wants a pocket gnome.
3 feet tall, you're about the height of my kid.
So you telling me you're making this a one-way trip then?
I'm hoping not to, but I can't always predict the way these things go. So,
You and me both. But once we're done there, we're fucking off elsewhere. We ain't come back here for a long time as far as I know.
I don't need to come back here.
We're just gonna stay aboard my ship.
Get off where you want to leave me.
Oops.
Darling, I'll
Most
help you get off
people
whenever
generally
you...
do.
Sweetheart, I'll help you get off whenever you want, but if I leave you on some random fucking island out here, you're likely to die no matter what.
Let me worry about that.
I like you. So why are you going there?
You seem like someone who wants to keep some things hidden. I think you can respect when others do.
I can, in fact, but you are asking for board aboard my ship. I feel you owe me a little something. Go ahead and make an insight check if she tries to persuade you. Nope, that's one dice. That was a good roll, too.
I think that should be 16. Let me double check. 16.
Oh, you got fucking lucky in that one.
I don't have any bags.
Yeah, you, though she seems to make a very good point, you,
Hey.
know better than to bring up your patronage or what you are, and especially around people you've never met before.
Of course.
It's definitely something you've learned the hard way.
Let's just say I had a bad dream.
I've had a lot of those.
So you understand.
Well, good enough. All right. I'll take it there for 200 gold.
But you're not real money.
Can I just say, sure?
If you can give me a compelling reason as to how she would actually have 200 gold, then yes.
Divine intervention.
Raven Queen has no use for riches.
Well,
Just the
she
dead.
up and left her entire life. I would imagine she sold off everything that would have been there, furniture and whatever.
I'll give it to you. All right.
Alright. 200's a bit steep though, I haven't got much.
Tis, but you want to go to a death trap. And you would use my ship to do it.
This one says you're already going.
We are. But you're asking me to take one more. We got provisions. We got barrels. Food, only enough for as many as we go.
I've got my own provisions.
Still, you're asking aboard my ship. If you want to go there, 200 gold.
100.
Ooh, look at you. Okay. Roll persuasion. And this will be a counter persuasion.
That's 24.
24.
I love
30.
Damn!
I rolled an
Oh!
18 to see how drunk I was. Anyway.
Alright, 200.
Deal. 200 gold.
Huh?
200 gold.
100 now and 100 when we get there.
You pay up front.
Fine.
And I hand it over.
Alright. She kind of checks it and... Alright. Well, let's keep drinking. Because we might not get a chance to again. Ever. And at this point...
I'm gone.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're here in a squeeze box in
No,
the
you,
distance
you,
of
you
high.
in fact do not hear shit through what's going on in the bar right
Yeah.
now. The two smaller portly humans that are in there, they continue on their mandolins, playing a rocket tune.
Rockin' mandolin.
Small goblin who'd be kind of eyeing you the whole time pulls out a violin, starts playing a violin. Sin kind of gets up, goes over to the bar, grabs a random drink, and sets it down in front of you. Doesn't even look at it.
Thank you.
Well, you're on a death trip, and we very well might also be, so you're part of our crew, at least for the next few days.
Thank you. What is this?
How special?
What is the drink, or what are we?
The drink.
Oh, that's a good question. Drink and find out.
I'm gonna take like a tiny sip.
It's very old rum.
Thank you.
Oh, she certainly found the wrong group now, didn't she?
Like I said, how special?
And she reaches over and she grabs the bottle. She just takes a huge swig of it and slams it back on the table. The orc follows suit, grabs it, shoves a huge bit of it, and slams it back down. I actually want to see if she bothers with this shit anymore. Nah. At that point, well, a little bit after that, actually, the facade around this young blonde woman changes, and you see a dark purple-skinned or dark blue-skinned woman with short, kind of spiked back hair, horns that wrap back around. And you see that she's not quite as busty as the illusion made her seem. She still definitely seems a little bit bosom. The coat hugs.
A little bit bosom.
A little bit bosom.
The coat that she's wearing seems to act like an underbra, basically. It hugs her almost unnaturally in places. Yeah. It seems to hug her almost unnaturally in places. Long tail that kind of like flips back and forth, and she just kind of like leans over the table and just keeps drinking. Doesn't really pay you any much mind at the moment. She got paid. She doesn't care anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna take a little crack out of my pocket and just feed one. Kind of whisper into him. It's okay. We're doing fine. It's okay.
You notice in one of the corners, and a croaking had been sitting.
A what?
A croaking.
Bird. Yeah.
Bird person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
More bird.
yeah, more bird, but he was sitting there quietly, not making a sound, not playing an instrument, just sitting in a corner, not paying much mind. And he kind of like looks over and looks at the bird, kind of like looks back down.
Listen to my outcome. No.
He's not quite that bad. Fine, okay.
Let's insight check him just for fun. I don't
Okay.
know. See if he seems threatening or anything.
Go for it.
Just curious. 22.
22. He's not really. He was giving you definitely a distrusting look.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an air of superiority about him, but not like come from riches or because he thinks he's better than everyone else. Like he's trained to be superior to everyone else. There is a very professional, very military air about him.
No, I'm gonna go sit with the quiet human.
Okay. The young human sits back down next to you.
Hello again. What's your name?
Hey, look, he found a girlfriend. They're well together, aren't they?
Aww.
Way louder than necessary. They're whispering to each other, but it's the drunk whisper that you can hear across the room.
I got an 18 to see how drunk I was. How drunk am I?
Holy shit.
So then she comes back up to you and she says hi.
Hello? I'm Arthur.
Hi, Arthur. I'm just gonna sit and maybe sip my water skin and be a little uncomfortable.
Do you remember that there are 3 kind of quieter people outside?
Yeah, well, one of them was scary, so. Yeah,
It's up to you what you want to do, but
sure. I'm gonna go outside. Yeah. Hello again. I'm, joining you, I think.
the halfling hasn't really said anything. He's just kind of like looking you up and down a little bit. But the human like stands. Would you care for some?
What is it?
What do you call it? It was a strain, he specifically said.
Something about the halfling's breath.
That was what I said, but...
I don't remember.
It's half-wheat, I believe.
Do I know what that is? I've got medicine proficiency.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
Remember?
I would call this a medicine check.
Okay. 13.
You definitely heard the name. It is a strain of basically marijuana. Very common amongst halflings.
That wacky
But-
tobacco.
The wacky dibbacky. It's very common among
The
halflings.
devil's lettuce.
Wizard.
The wizard weed.
I will
I think that's what he called it, the
Okay.
wizard weed.
Probably.
Wizardry! I'm gonna say in halfing, where are you from?
Around.
Montreal. Take a puff and sit.
And the butler would also reply, too.
Does he know halfling?
Yeah, he does.
I thought he only
No,
knew
he
gnome.
does.
Oh, no, he
He
knows
Just
gnome.
gnome.
That's right.
Not all little people understand.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Come on, fuck.
racist. Jesus.
Carry salute.
We hear from inside the bar.
Burn!
Alright.
Why do you keep burning things and putting yourself in boxes?
Are they alright?
Who do you say that to?
Halfling in halfling.
The halfling and halfling?
Yes. Trying to be tactful.
They do that. He takes a long hit.
Often.
Often.
Alright then. Now what?
You say that in common, halfling,
In halfling.
and halfling.
Yeah.
The dwarf pipes up. You know, those of us who speak other languages have the common decency to speak in common amongst others.
I'm sorry. Just wondering what happened.
Translated.
next? What now? Are you all gonna be here all night?
Well, that depends. Are you? Are you apparently coming with us?
I'm going with you, yes.
Huh. Well, you must not be a terrible person. Or not as terrible as they are. Or us, for that matter.
I'm not sure if I'll
Words.
your logic. But yes, no, I'm not.
Good, good. Well, now we sit here and enjoy ourselves, because apparently we might die or something.
Yes, I've heard that. Okay, well then.
Do you know anything about the place that you're going to?
Just there's some strange things happening there that shouldn't be happening.
That is the general assumption.
Yes.
So you have been urged to go to this place that you do not know for reasons that you do not know.
Yes.
And you've just agreed to do so.
Gwen finds out, just like kind of makes an unhappy little trill at him. He says yes.
Why do you have a bird?
He's my friend.
Seems such, but strange companion that is.
You've got
Are
one as
you
well.
gonna
I'm
show her
very
your
racist.
friend?
Yeah, but he uses that for, you know. I wouldn't say it's his friend, it's more like a thing he uses sometimes.
That never works.
That never fucking works.
Six. You have a bad friend as well.
I would not call him a friend. I would say he came with the package.
What's his name?
Tellin, Tulun, something. I don't know.
Right.
He's a bird. He repeats things. And he gets a little bit annoying.
Gwen makes another mean noisy. Not any speech, just like a.
You wouldn't be the first bird I've killed.
I don't think you can kill him.
He's not a bird, is he?
I haven't figured that out yet.
At any point in this, do you think your sign would have shown?
Maybe. She's
Maybe.
not one to gesticulate widely. But she's not hiding it. It's just there.
Okay, that's good. And
Just feel like there's backstory shit going on here.
As one of the times you kind of move to kind of like motion to the bird, Bard's eye kind of like moves to your wrist a little bit. Oh, now I know. Oh, well, at least you probably won't die, but you might not live.
That's an accurate summation, I think. Yes.
And he kind of takes his battle axe and pulls it out,
She steps back
and
very quickly.
he moves his thumb onto the hilt, and the whole axe ignites in magical flames. And you can hear almost in the back of your head whispers that don't make any sense. They don't seem to make any words, but just like a whispering. And then it kind of goes out again. You're not the only one who decided to do something out of foolishness.
I don't think it was foolishness.
Aye, me either.
Right then.
Sorry,
Hello.
I'm not the GM. I was gonna say do a perception check to see if she notices your axe. If she wants to.
How would she notice it? Like, what would she notice about it?
The design on it, because it's the new axe.
Yeah, but it's just a dwarven design.
Yeah, but if she has a good enough religion check.
So she would. Do you give a fuck what kind of god a dwarf would worship? Okay.
No?
Because yeah, he doesn't have anything about the great old ones on his axe. It's just a
Oh, I know.
design. He's got Hans Seath on the
Yeah.
pommel, but
No, I thought it was designed on the face of the axe.
you
But
said
I just. That's what I
you said specifically that there was the pommel was the mug, and then Bard actually made his own golden mug for it.
Yeah, and then there was also one, you asked for a design on the.
Is this DM to DM convo?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. You asked for a design on the actual face of the axe, too. Like, right where the, right where the
that's
center
actually good.
joins
I kind of forgot.
into the.
You never told me about this.
No, I
Yeah.
thought I did.
If you had this in your head, you never told me about
Would
it.
you like
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he kind of at that point he like removes his helm, and it's a older dwarf, much older, hair kind of salt and peppered. You can see some scars.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah, probably good idea.
Scarred dwarf.
Back in the bar.
Back in the bar.
You're not at the bar. You're on top of a plateau getting drunk.
No, I'm already drunk.
He's
I'm
playing
just,
his thingy. He's
I'm
not
just playing
drinking
my
while
squeeze
he's there.
box,
You're
like
just squeezing
drunken.
your box.
Back in the bar, I'm gonna look at Sin and say, I'm telling you, you do it again. I can wing it. I can stop that dark shit that you do. Get rid of it. I didn't do it last time. But
Yeah,
I
but I
can do
can't
it.
do it again. You say I'm a girl of only so many times.
I feel like that's a lie.
I feel like you're saying a bit much.
Maybe. Try it. Do I hear this like out the door?
You probably would. Roll me a perception check. With those two, probably.
That's a nat one.
Yeah, no, you don't hear shit.
I'm just kind of
The conversation right now.
The whispers that you had heard from the axe, you've kind of been keeping that in your head. It was almost too much. Like
Oh.
you couldn't understand what they were saying. It was
Okay.
almost overwhelming.
It was from the axe. It was not the voice that would normally be speaking.
No, it was not your patron.
Oh, okay. Huh.
You kind of in the back of your head, you heard these insane whispers that make no sense, almost unable to be comprehended, thousands at once.
Other people can hear that? I thought it was just you.
Just given what she is, I'm gonna say that she was able to hear it
Okay.
slightly.
Not as much as Bard.
Not as what Bard hears. No,
Right.
Bard
Okay.
gets the full fucking brunt of that shit.
No, I know.
But it's like you would just like be sitting there. Maybe she'll like hear like a breeze, but it would
Yeah. I got you.
in the air.
Parcel time.
That makes sense. Parcel tongue.
Like Harry Potter.
Really, that was understood. Would anybody like some raspberries?
Not right now. A little bit.
Not my berries.
Not my best.
I'm definitely just sitting smoking, waiting for something to happen. Very awkwardly.
Well, the three that were out there, they do kind of all sit back down.
How tall is this plateau?
It's probably a good 500-600 feet tall.
Smash cut to a bird drunkenly trying to get up a cliff.
Smash cut to new character sheet.
Can't fly. Kangaroo can't fly.
I know, but
Yeah.
he's jumping off the cliff and he's drunk. He can say he could fly.
Kila style, alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically gods.
I'm not trying to
At level 5.
We're basically gods.
Now, from your explanation, I thought it was like only like 50 feet.
No, those are like the small rocks that were.
The
towards-
forest on top is like 50 feet.
The forest on top is about 300,
Oh, I lied.
300-ish square feet around.
It was very
I think
small.
you're thinking of the rocks whenever we were coming up onto, like near the dock. Those
Yeah,
little
yeah,
rocks. That's what
yeah.
you were thinking.
Yeah,
That's
rocks
where
ones.
I'm at.
Yeah, no, the little, it's
No,
a
it's
straight
not
up
that
plateau, like a small mountain,
I
basically,
got it whole.
on this island.
Yeah.
And then on
okay.
the other island, there's like crumbled rocks. It seemed like it at one point was another plateau, and is now just a giant pile of rocks.
I'm over there.
Okay.
I'm actually over there, yeah.
Are you on the rocks?
Yeah.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Yes!
With
With
disadvantage.
disadvantage. That's a 3.
Cool.
And
Or can't hop
Yeah, it
on.
doesn't matter. You're on
3.
3.
Dexterity?
Mm-hmm.
9.
Yeah, you are able to get onto the rocks, but you basically fall and smack your head on
Oh.
basically every other rock.
Poor baby. No, he's a stuttering repeating
You
word.
will end up going to go ahead and take 3 points of damage from falling on these sharp, jagged rocks as you're drunkenly trying to billy goat up them as a bird. But you are able to like get onto the large pile of rocks.
Yay. You climbed some rocks.
If you want, you can try to, because you are in view of this, you can try to see this happening.
Yeah.
Okay, go and roll me for this. Yeah.
4. Perception?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's 5.
Yeah, you don't see anything. His black feathers in the black sky, you know, it's...
Emperor.
I said black.
Black.
You can't
I like the way you said black there.
I'm black on black.
It's not like in the Black Knight. But yeah, you are currently sitting with the 3.
You might hear like drunken cackling from
No,
like
she
over
doesn't
there.
hear anything. That's the perception check.
Alright.
Can Gwen make a perception check?
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
why not? It is an animal companion, so sure.
He's got better than me. That's a 15.
Yeah, you're Gwen, as you're kind of like sitting there, like very awkwardly amongst but not quite as awkwardly as inside amongst the 3. Gwen suddenly perks up and looks over to the other island.
Is something wrong? I think your friend might be hurt.
Which friend?
At
At this point, Arya's
not your
wagon
friend.
kind of gets up and he starts heading over that way.
The little bug.
He'll be fine.
You sure?
He stayed alive with those bunch.
I'm just gonna click it, Gwen, and send him off.
Okay.
And the little one.
Gwen kind of heads off. Fucking his name. Going to see Robard hustling very quickly toward the other island. He's currently going across the bridge. It's only about maybe 100-foot span. It's a very small bridge, but he's hustling across the bridge currently.
Okay. Well, that's actually the extent of my telepathic connection. So, he would have to go scout, come back, and tell me, which he does.
She can do okay, so he does do that.
Yes. What do I see? Do I see you happy and playing, or do I see you like on the bottom?
I mean,
bleeding?
perception check first, right? Or
Well, I mean, it's pretty good perception for the bird as it went
oh
off
well,
the
the
scout.
15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably see him like he's probably hanging upside down, like just like legs hooked over like a rock after he's fallen. He like somehow like latched and is just hanging upside down playing like.
But he looks happy.
Okay.
And
He didn't feel a thing.
You also see Robard. Robard kind of like hops up the rocks, like kind of like leans down. Are you okay, friend?
Are you okay, friend?
He pulls out a handkerchief from his pocket and he can like wipes away a little bit of the blood that's there and puts it back.
Alright.
And I like kind of get back up and try and get back onto my feet and
Robard actually grabs you and picks you up and puts you on his shoulder. He's like, come, back to our friends. And he hustles back to the group.
okay.
And when Gwen returns,
And
this
as
is what
he's
Gwen
hustling, I'm
reports to
just
you.
playing my squeeze box.
Yeah.
Just
It only takes maybe of less than 10 seconds or so before you hear the sound of the squeeze box and Robard hustling across the bridge with this little bird perched on top of his shoulder.
I think Gwen might be sitting on top of the kangaroo if you'll allow it.
Alright, do you allow this?
oh yeah.
Alright.
Bird stack.
Dude, I am just rolling with like just like I'm too drunk to care about anything.
Well, as soon as Gwen's at 100 feet of me, I kind of approach up and say, they're coming back.
I told you.
I've done what I need to do, so I'm just gonna sit and smoke.
Alright.
I will join in. I'm like I've never done it, so I'm just like
Roll me a constitution check. You newbie smoker.
Nat 20.
You are totally fine, absolutely. It's you've been around enough fires and gunpowder.
You also
and
don't have lips.
Yeah, I also don't have lips, so I'm just like I can't pull very well. So I'm kind of just like biting down on it, like
Somebody shotgun that bird.
snipping it with the like just.
somebody
Is this
shot
what I
the
do?
You're not
bird.
gonna bird. You have
Somebody
to make a
shotgun the
seal
bird.
over the beak. It'll be fine.
Hey, I've seen a lot of weird porn, man. Like it's possible.
I just like saw what they were doing, how they had it in their mouths, so all I did was like put it in my mouth, like beak, and I was like, like don't blow any smoke out or anything like that. I'm like,
Ario's just like, very good, friend.
Did your best.
Does anybody want to do anything else?
Was Sin commenting back to me? Like,
Be back and forth, but yeah,
no, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna take the bait.
she can't do it.
This bitch.
She literally can't do
This bitch.
it.
what?
Is there anything on the tables?
Continues to drink.
Drinks. A lot of empty cups, a lot of empty bottles.
Okay. I was meaning more along the lines of, like, randomly would there be candles?
There are a couple sconces, and on the two larger tables there are candles.
Okay. In my drunken state, seeing those two bicker, I just sit there and scream, "Wait!" Light one of the candles on the table. There we go, smooth lighting. And go back to drinking.
It was already lit because it's like 11 o'clock.
Did you make it worse? Did you make it more
It's like,
fire?
it's like 11 o'clock at night, bro. Like that's literally how they see. So it was already lit.
You're drunk,
Never mind.
and did you make it worse?
Bonfire.
Nah, never mind.
Okay. Does anybody else do anything else for the rest of the night?
You tried.
Yep.
As I see the candle like blip and his like little noise, I'm gonna like make a harmless flash in his face with my druid craft.
Oh, I still know where my drink's at.
But like, you're blind now.
Like a
You're seeing
flashbang, like a
spots.
bang.
Right. But I still know where my drink's at.
As he takes a drink. Yeah.
Do you know where your drink's at? Can you see?
I'm still holding on to it.
Fair. I was gonna go take it. I'm gonna go take his drink.
Okay. Are you going to allow this? All right, then you will go ahead and roll me. You roll sleight of hand.
Okay.
You roll dexterity with disadvantage.
Fight me.
How drunk are you? You said 18?
Yeah.
You're fine. Sleight of hand.
I'm fine.
Wait, was that
That's in there. I can't.
how drunk you were getting, or
I better.
your
How
constitution?
fucked up she is.
How
Okay.
drunk
18.
I was.
That was a nat 20.
Okay, but
Come on, 17.
straight 17?
Plus, is it just
Do you
17?
have pluses? Nope.
No,
No
I
pluses.
can't. I think it's a 7.
No.
What is it?
Oh,
Oh.
One.
you go to grab
That
for his,
one.
you go to grab for his drink in all of your spiteful glory,
My fight
and
glory.
you somehow manage to trip over yourself and
Sorry.
fall
No.
onto the table.
Dang
As he
it.
just kind of like lifts it over you as you fall right where it was. He sets it back down on you like a coaster.
Have a nice fall.
See you next trip. You know you're gonna get all your spells back after you go to sleep. Just
I
saying.
know.
Are you encouraging PvP so that you don't have to go into the planned content?
No, I'm still gonna go into the planned content because it's not till the end of that I need everyone else here for.
It's true. I'm just saying something other.
No, we just get into these ridiculous things
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
I love that.
I'm
Hey,
With Larry.
no, after
Hey.
he says that you have a nice fall, and we roll me a wisdom save.
No. Why? Okay. What do you is? Help. Help. Where's Jeremy? I need Jeremy.
What do you got?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing happens.
I'm gonna cast call animals and I'm gonna wrap you in a constrictor snake. Cause fuck you, that's why. I'm aggressive
It's
today.
a good plan.
Are they just local animals?
No,
Nope.
she summons spiritual animals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I was like, they're local animals that might put some restrictions. I'm sure
Summons.
there's a snake
It's
on
a
it.
it's a
summons an
Patronus with actual like fist form.
Yeah, she summons an animal.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Not enough to kill him, but just squeeze him real hard.
Roll for. Sorry.
Apple.
Come at me with my snakes. Bitch.
Snakes.
Exactly.
Are you a Slytherin druid?
No. Ravenclaw druid. Just a drunk one.
The Ravenclaw.
Who's aggressive.
You're the Ravenclaw. We're with the Raven.
Technically Gryffindor, but yeah.
No, it's just bird jokes.
Yes. No, I'm understood.
Bird jokes.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
You still on what she's stepping in?
Bird. How is that one bird?
Is some animals, is that a concentration at all?
Are you? I got away from the thing because my D&D Beyond did the stupid air bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Conjure animals? It's concentration. Let's see.
Let us see.
Put it down and see.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll
It's
another
concentration.
wisdom save. Nothing happens, okay.
Higher, yeah. So what?
So
what is the snake?
A
So-
reticulated python appears in the middle of the bar, so it's wrapping around you. It's about a 5.5 foot long, large snake creature. Except its eyes are like a bright, shimmering blue.
What are you looking at?
Remember, I'm not encouraging anything. They're doing this on their own. Sin's actually trying to
I'm
stop
just
it, but she thinks she's
excited
fucking
to see
good.
what's gonna happen.
Sin was legitimately trying to stop this, but for once she had good rolls. So.
Oh, you brought good rolls.
What?
Obviously, you just have to cast bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously. Everyone knows snakes are afraid of bonfires. Oh, she doesn't want to have to use this, but she
Are
would
they
have
afraid
to.
of mirrors?
Takes 11 minutes. Can't do that.
Nope.
Ah!
Alright, Selena,
What? God damn it.
roll me an intelligence save.
Are you making me dumb? What are you,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
are you like this?
Roll an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
So, right as she casts the
Oh, okay. So before this
snake,
guy,
I
he
cast
casts mirror image,
which does exactly.
makes a
makes a
duplicate.
duplicate of himself.
Oh.
So, do you like jump up real quick and dance around yourself and stuff?
No, so mirror image works very, very specifically.
Or is that? Yeah, that's right.
I think it
So,
was very sweet.
Yeah, what it is go ahead and roll a d20 real quick.
Okay.
Full attack for
Can't
snake.
see it. What do you say?
4.
7-4.
Yeah, the snake actually wrapped around you. She had to roll 6 or higher to miss. She rolled a 4.
Gotcha.
Okay. What were you gonna have me do? Roll an intelligence saving throw?
Yep, intelligence saving throw.
What that is.
1.
That is a nat 1. Hey, Selena, what is Lil Dis's worst fear?
I don't know. Actually.
What is something she's very, very afraid of?
What is her name? Little Dissa. Little Dissa?
Lil
L-
Dissa.
Little Dissa.
Yeah. L-I-L.
Can you adjust?
Fuck, what's the word? Forgot what the word was.
Droids?
No, prohibition.
Wow.
I mean, it's not wrong. I'm a heavy alcohol.
How much of me
Yes,
is red?
actually, I don't usually like a piece, but this
I
is
mean,
like,
good chunk of you. It's like a 5 foot long
it's not
stick.
very, very,
Okay,
very
I'm still
hot.
free to
It's
move.
like nice middle.
Mostly I like it.
Possibly?
It's pretty- I'm not very judgy.
I'll try those things.
In the when you lived in the forest, what was probably your worst predator you had to deal with?
I guess, like, I don't know.
Was it a lion, tiger, bear, oh my?
Smoky bear.
One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple lemur eater?
I don't know.
That is actually what you see. You see a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple lemur
no.
eater appear, burst through the back of the bar, and just start charging at you.
I'm gonna freak out and run away.
Okay, roll concentration.
Nope, still a 1.
The
I hate your
snake
dice.
fades. Disappears. So you run out of the bar?
Yep.
The lemur
No.
followed the lemur eater, one-eyed, one-horned, flying, purple lemur eater follows behind you, crashes through the door, and continues to chase after you.
I'm gonna jump on Arya's speedwagon.
You jump on our speedwagon.
He's safe.
I assume none of us see a
You
Monte.
see nothing.
just a gnome.
You see a gnome freaking the fuck out, jumps onto the large human, who immediately kind of like reaches up and like cradles her almost protectively. His hand is like half the size of her, so he kind of like holds her protectively.
And protect.
Him protect.
But most of all, he attack.
No, but
No,
mostly
he
protect.
Must be
Protect.
We mostly protect.
Are you still on his shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sin just kind of dissipates the spell at will.
Are you alright?
Fucking one-eyed, one-horned flying purple lemur eaters. Just gonna curl up in Arya's speedwagon.
Bard blows out a huge puff of smoke. And I thought our shit was good.
You have shit? Give me your shit.
He backs away, but Ario does lift up his pipe to you.
Good. Take some.
Big constitution check.
Okay.
Nice.
No.
So they say that you should
It's a 4.
say you should never double hit, you know, crossfade.
It's fine.
You should never really crossfade, especially with things you're not familiar with. You are fucking crossfaded right now.
It's okay.
You were feeling pretty okay, but then you took a hit of that halfling leaf and you were just suddenly the drinks hit you.
Joke's on you guys, I'm a touchy high.
What just happened?
Fucking one-eyed. One-eyed. Black purple lemur eaters.
Where?
Don't say something.
Like I said, apparently that shit was better than our shit.
He must have been in that room. I'm just gonna take another cracker out of my food and kind of inch away from the now stack of small people on the butler.
There is a stack of small people on the butler.
Probably as you pull the cracker out, I'm just like,
You want some?
want some?
Here.
Do I hear anything that's going on outside?
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Perception.
Is it 12?
And that's a 15, so off of the 12. That was perception. 12.
12?
6.
You can definitely hear voices
That's
outside,
18.
but... Oh, 18?
18.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, you can hear them talking. You can pick up some words here and there, basic gist of conversation. I mean, it is pretty loud in this bar, with the ruckus pirates doing their thing. And Sin laughing her ass off, by the way, as everybody else in the bar is also laughing their asses off.
Yeah, I'm just
And
gonna.
she's like, I don't know what she saw, but it was fucking hilarious. Did you see the way she fucking ran?
Do I hear that?
Perception check.
I'm just sitting there snickering behind the bar.
That's a 10. No, that's a 7. Just kidding. I don't know.
You can hear the laughter, but you don't hear any words. But you can hear them all. You know, you can hear the voice of Sin, and you hear all these both deep and high-pitched laughters coming from everybody.
So what'd you see?
Fucking one-eyed. One-eyed purple lemur eaters.
Where?
I did. What'd you say?
Piece of shit.
It was. Ow.
At this point, the halfling kind of gets up and kind of wanders off.
Okay. You were normal.
Actually, like, I'm actually hanging up above him, so probably I'm getting secondhand high from Ario, and I'm just.
Fucking roll I call at fucking 8 o'clock at night.
Awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm probably getting secondhand high. But every single time he hands me the pipe, I'm just like.
Mhm.
And then I start noticing that they exhale stuff, and I'm like trying to figure out how they're doing it, and I'm like.
Here. Give me that. Give me that.
I'm not gonna shotgun it, but I am gonna just kind of blow smoke in your face.
She takes a deep hit, and just you see, much like when we dip out, it just it kind of like washes over you.
It's nice, right?
Neat.
It's a very earthy vegetal smell.
Okay.
Not sweet or anything. Imagine like a sencha green tea. It's vegetal. It's
Alright.
very earthy, very
Alright.
pleasant to smell.
Hey, grab something like this one. It's nice. Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah.
Or your constitution check.
I mean, I did the first one, but
You did the first one. Yeah, go ahead and roll again, because she's blowing it right at you. What's your name
Nah.
on Constitution?
I have a +1.
Oh, plus one, so 5. Yeah, it starts to hit you pretty quickly. Just that one little hit. You've never done this before, and you start to feel really good, really calm. Really
Is it
mellow.
body or mind?
What?
Is it a body high or a
That's
mental
mental.
high?
It's
Alright.
it's. I mean, you feel relaxed, just all over, and your mind kind of calms down. It's really chill. Things seem to kind of like flow together a bit more. Some things are like jokes are a little bit funnier. Smart comments are a little bit smarter. It's chill, man. It's chill. 'Cause all 3 of them have really chill weeds.
It's nice, right? Yeah, I think I
It's
said that
nice,
like
right?
3 times. Yeah. Anyway,
It's nice, right?
where are all of you staying? Just here?
That is actually a really good question that I haven't thought about. I will probably find a place near the rocks.
This isn't a proper inn, is it? Are there rooms?
I did not see any beds. It looked like a room with some booze.
Yeah.
Would I know? Because I've been there once.
You would know that Sin does tend to find rooms or just sleep on the ship, one of the 2.
Oh, okay.
Now you have been there for about a day. You've kind of
Oh,
met
that's
the locals.
true. I've been here.
You have kind of met the locals. There was specifically a very nice old woman who offered to let you sleep in a bed that is currently not in use,
All right.
if necessary,
Um.
and also offered you some soup.
Then I think I'm gonna go find Sin and just ask her. I'm gonna go sleep now. Where should I meet you all in the morning?
Just make sure you're by the dock in the morning.
Right, around dawn?
I would assume a bit later than that. A bit later than that, boys? Everyone's like, a little later than that.
Alright then. I'm gonna go turn in. And
Alright.
find my old lady and take her from the offer bed and soup.
She is asleep when you get there, but the door is unlocked. There is still a smoldering fire underneath a cauldron that has some still very nice soup in it.
Lovely.
It's very warm in this house, but there is a kind of upstairs kind of loft area, and there are a couple beds in there.
I imagine I'm quite hungry at this point. So I will munch on soup and then go sleep.
You feel very warm inside. If you've ever been healed by a cleric or whatnot, it kind of fills with that same kind of warmth. It's
Okay.
very comforting. It's
Which-
kind of the same feeling you get from the Raven Queen without the creepiness.
But she's not warm.
But when she speaks to you, you almost get a motherly sense. You're not. It's not a scary thing. It's not a creepy
Right,
thing.
of course.
It's very matronly. It's what the feeling you get from
The
Raven Queen.
matron. Yes.
Would she have been on the same ship as Speedwagon?
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. Let's find out.
Because I'm
If
pretty
they're on the
sure
same-
that
Yeah, he got there the day before, the day prior.
just the day before, and if she's only, there's a good chance.
There is a chance. That is a nat 20 to see if they were on the same ship. Yeah.
So yeah, you actually saw him
Yeah.
on the ship
Mhm.
coming.
He's not a
and stuff.
stranger to you specifically. You had seen him around. He is a very pleasant gentleman.
Yeah.
He was never rude to you. Always the upstanding type.
I would have nodded,
Yeah, but he wasn't
Okay.
very. He seemed very intent in what he was doing in his business. But he was never rude to you. Never mean. Always willing to help.
So what, he's human or?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Tall,
Yeah.
old
He's
human.
this is the big human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 6'7", huge.
He's like a silver
Right.
silver fox.
He's
kind
very
of.
much a silver fox. He wears a full-on like,
Ashley doesn't care.
he wears a full-on like butler suit, like black tailcoat, white undershirt, but it's cut just a little bit too small. I think the way I described it was if you've ever seen fucking wrestler, I can't remember his name all of a sudden again.
John Cena.
John Cena. If you've ever seen John Cena in a
John
suit,
Cena. Yeah.
it's like that, where it's a little bit smaller than it should be, and you can see all of the muscles. It's very much like that.
All right. Is he a fighter?
You could tell that there is chainmail underneath the white shirt, otherwise you don't know.
All right.
He didn't seem to show any fighting aboard the ship. He was always very prim, very proper.
Just a buff gentleman.
Just a very buff, large tank of a gentleman.
Oh.
And of course, the interactions you've seen just from here, you can tell that he's very willing to help people, very, very kind.
No.
No, it's just there.
I wasn't sure if he left his.
So you went off and you found the grandma's place. You had some soup.
Yes,
And you
I-
can turn in whenever you like. She did offer you to sleep in whichever
Yeah,
bed
no,
you
I
wish.
definitely, I just went to bed.
Okay. The rest of you do anything else for the night?
I'm gonna go back to my
Okay.
I did not.
Is the
know
ship
where it
docked or
was.
is it off the coast?
It's off the coast. The
Straight.
rowboat is docked.
Okay.
Just keep going straight.
There are two of them,
Okay.
but it is docked.
Okay. I ask Sin where, if there are any rooms on the island to stay for the night.
Well, you're willing to go ahead and try to ask people if you can crash in their place.
Alright.
Figured you wouldn't be too terribly close just sleeping in a box in the brig, though.
Do I hear that?
I don't know. Roll me a perception check. You
No.
do not.
Damn it.
You are face in your drink, in your mug, like just.
I'm not
she's
in the mug.
outside smoking.
Oh right, that's
Yeah.
that's right.
I'm next
she's
to
outside.
you.
I'm trying
On
to
the
think
other
how-
side of the head.
How
Yeah.
proficient I am in manning a rowboat,
We're both
but
real
at the
high.
same time, if the ship's off the coast.
It doesn't take very long before Cage
I
and
think I
Jibbles,
can understand your word
as well
choice.
as
Like, I get it.
Little John do get up and they say they're heading back to the ship. And they kind of start going back.
Okay. I tell Sin, if anyone needs me, I'll be getting a head start. If you want to find me, I'll be on the ship in my box. And I grab a bottle of rum and
Okay.
follow them out.
Alright.
If little John is heading back to the ship, then I am too.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow, like,
Roll me perception check at disadvantage.
because we're right outside the door.
And you
You
high
are
as hell.
fucking fucked.
Not bad. Perception.
Mhm.
$19. No, 19.
19. Okay, now go ahead and roll me a wisdom check.
What's going on? Nothing. Everybody's just kind of figuring out where they're
I'm
going.
going back to my fun box.
Here, what?
My fun box.
4.
4. You definitely see
Oh, that
John
sounds
leaving.
great. Find him in
But in your mind, you're just like, oh, John's
Anytime,
going. Cool.
anytime in game, and that's also how I was introduced.
He must have to
was in
pee.
a box.
Okay.
No, you're human. I was gonna say dwarf in a box, but no, no, not a dwarf. Just drunk.
He's just an actual dick.
Yeah, you head back with John.
Wow.
Cage and Jibbles, they actually, as they were heading toward the ship, they realized they don't want to sleep on ship again, so they kind of actually fuck off. But John does continue. And he gets in the boat, and you, I'm assuming, fall after him.
Yeah.
You both go back to the ship.
And then I go down to the brig because I remember the box wasn't actually sealed.
It was not, and there were some very comfy linens in there, actually. Silks and fabrics of various types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just climb in the box
Alright.
and close the lid.
Alright. Fucking coffin sleeper shit. Anyone else do anything else?
Vampiric Gandalf.
Sin
Oh,
eventually does
word.
make her way also out of the small area. She finds a random hut you guys hadn't gone into, and she just kind of goes inside.
Oh, I'm on the ride with speed
Yeah, you're
wagon
level
at this point.
So the rest of you who decided to stay around have a very good night. You eventually do find either lodgings or go back to the ship, one of the two. Bard went off at some point, just kind of went toward the large crag, and you all have a very nice sleep.
Sweet.
Including you. And then morning finally hits. What do you all do when morning hits?
I went back to the ship by
Okay.
now. I'm probably up in the crow's nest.
Okay.
And I wake.
Yeah, Ka is not there, so currently you're the only bird.
I wake up. Kind of. What time is it?
Fairly early, I would say about 8 o'clock, 9.
Okay. I look around, see what if there's any other movement.
Yeah, John's up and about doing some basic maintenance on the ship, like your standard, like getting ready to prepare stuff, but very lazily, slowly moving boxes around and checking ropes and things.
Thanks, John. And I start taking care of some stuff up here, making sure everything is starting to get ready. Going along the mast and making sure that once the captain gets on, we're ready to go.
Okay.
So just morning routines.
Got
Kind of like in the beginning of it, it's the autopilot ones kind of thing where you're just dazedly doing it.
I'm just gonna head down to the dock and look for Sin.
As you leave, the old
That's a
lady,
great phrase.
thank you for staying.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. You're such a charming little thing.
Thank you. Well,
Would you like any soup for the road?
I think I'm alright, thank you.
Of course, of course.
Alright, say goodbye, Gwen. Bye.
She kind of like hands out like a little like oyster cracker.
Aw, he's gonna go get it. Alright, and then I'll go down and find Sin.
So you head down toward the large dock again. This is a huge dock, way bigger than it should be for an island this size. It's massive, but there's just one small rowboat chilling on it. Bard is currently sitting there by the docks, not actually on the wood. He's on the beach itself. He's kind of standing there with his hand on his axe, just like waiting patiently for everybody.
Go down to the beach.
Okay.
Look for the rowboat. Everybody.
Okay. There's a rowboat there.
I'm gonna get on the rowboat.
Oh yeah, you went to the ship.
I
You still
went-
passed out somewhere?
I was in the box.
Yeah. You still
Uh,
passed out the box?
no, I start to lightly hear movement up top.
John is not a quiet person.
I thought that was a good thing. Dice for a second.
Right. I start to hear movement up top. I kind of just stagger my way out of the box and try and find something to eat in the kitchen.
Okay. There's no one in the kitchen, girl. But there was like leftovers from a few days ago. Chilling. There's still some mostly fresh foods there. Dried, many dried things. It doesn't take very long until Sin and Ka, and also Shanktooth, who's a small goblin, wander up to the beach. What are we doing this time?
I guess. Let's go.
I've already paid you, so.
Hi. I don't know. Maybe you got cold feet. Alright, well, let's go. She hops in the rowboat and kind of waits for everybody else.
Okay.
In the rowboat.
Everybody gets in the rowboat, they hop on back, or they start running back to the ship.
Go in circles. Overhead.
Okay.
Take a little exercise.
Ka's just kind of like watching the entire time. It only takes a few minutes to get to the ship. John, the large orc gentleman, throws down a ladder. Sin climbs on up.
Speedwagon probably swam it.
Speedwagon totally swam.
In
Yeah.
chainmail?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's extra.
He is.
He's extra. He probably heard that Sweeto swam it, and he's like, "How noble!"
No, Half Pint probably joked that Sweeto swam it.
Just take
Sweeto
room in the
did-
boats
Or
for
no,
everyone
I mean,
else.
yeah. Oh yeah, Sweeto actually did swim it. That's right.
Sweeto,
No, he
Sweeto's
He
Sweeto
jumped
did
on.
not swim
Oh,
it.
yeah,
you
no, he-
swam it.
Yeah,
Sweeto was
tried,
with
yeah.
He
Half Pint.
partially swam it.
I just hang on.
Half Pint
Oh.
is the halfling.
I hung
On his
On
banter.
his-
On his banner, yep.
I
Yep,
hung-
that's
I
right.
hung
They
on
were
for dear
Mermaid
life.
Man and Barnacle Boy, basically.
Yeah.
I was hanging on for dear life on the side of the boat.
Yes, you all go in the
You were
ship.
trying to stomp
As I
him.
stomp on your fingers.
Y'all don't like each other, huh?
He's just
She doesn't
dumb.
like anybody.
He's just dumb. I like people.
The moment Sin's on the ship
not-
and everybody's up,
That one.
she screams out, "Liven up, you fuckers! We're going!" And the rest of the crew starts immediately getting into their places, getting the ship ready to go. John starts hoisting up the rowboat onto its locked position. Starts lifting up the Nice. You're just looking for a reason to say fuck, aren't you? Okay.
What? Are you recording?
And the
I'm recording, yeah.
The Kenku, chirps back and drops the sails. The sails go down. The ship lurches forward. And you all start heading out. And it does not take very long sailing across the seas to get to where you are going, which is in fact the island currently known as Darktide. Where did I put that? Okay. You are not excused, sir. So, as you start to get closer to what you know is your destination, it's still fairly early, like just pre-dawn, basically. Like it's maybe, I don't know, 'cause it takes a few hours, so it's maybe about 2, 3 o'clock as you are approaching what you believe is your destination. You see, from your vantage point, that we were going, there's just a dark dome about where you're heading, almost like a reverse sunset. Like, so you can see the yellows and the purples and the blues around this dome, like the light is, hitting the atmosphere. But otherwise, you can't see anything inside of it. Just like a dome of sunset followed by darkness inside the dome.
Okay.
Does it look at all familiar to me? Dark Dome.
It does not at all look familiar to
Or
you.
does it? Would it look similar to Sphere of Darkness?
It does not.
It's different.
It is absolutely. It's a dome and it is dark. If that's what you mean.
Yeah. No. Like I'm because like.
No, because around the borders, I said already.
Yeah.
It looks like a sunset. Like the light is going in, but it's like a sunset along the horizon, where it's slowly getting darker. But you can see where the sun's rays are still going through, no problem. But then it's being refracted, and you can see all the colors around the dome,
All right.
as if a sunset, but reversed.
I'm sorry you're explaining all these colors things to me.
Valid.
Are you colorblind?
Yeah.
There we go.
No. I mean.
I can see in magical darkness.
That is good to know.
Yes. Other invocation.
Oh, okay, yeah, invocations, right,
Yeah,
right,
but I
right.
get 3, so 2 of
Those
them
are
are
pretty great.
sight-based. 'Cause
Those are pretty
they're
great.
fun. Yeah.
I'm surprised you also didn't get fucking Eyes of the Runekeeper, too. Just all vision shit.
She's not reading.
I was gonna say, like, that's one that is never taken advantage of
Small town
enough.
girl. She's not reading.
No, I was gonna say, that's one that's never taken advantage of enough of Eyes of the Runekeeper. Because so many DMs are like, what languages does everyone know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, no one speaks this. Oh, but I read literally everything.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know what it says. But it's in a language that, like, doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. I know what it says. If it is in a comprehensible language, I can read it.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I get 3. I really like these 2. And then Agonizing Blast is a must. Like,
Right.
it's a tax. It's the Warlock tax. I have to take it. So, there we go.
So you start getting closer to this dark dome. And Sin calls to lift the mainsail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just following Captain's order
So the ship
immediately.
The ship slows down, still going, because the two sides, or the one side sail, I don't know the official name of it, but the smaller one in front is still out. So the ship's still going. But Cole,
How are is it 3 masts or?
It's 2. It's a main mast and then a smaller
then
mast in
front.
front of it. Yeah.
Alright.
Mid-in?
I don't remember. But yeah, Ka does call out that there's a small reef surrounding the island. It's not super dangerous, but there are spots where there's kind of the reef kind of comes a little bit close to the surface, and he does direct as Sin kind of goes over and takes the steering wheel. Fucking words are failing me right now.
Helm.
Yeah, the helm. There we go. And she listens very carefully to his instructions. Whenever he calls, she turns and kind of no problem avoiding it. But you kind of get to the edge of this dome, and it's not so much that you go into magical darkness; it's that you go into like 10, 11 o'clock at night. You don't see stars. You don't see a moon specifically, but it's like there's moonlight cast over everything. Like it's a dark, like half moon night.
Everything alright? It's fine.
The ship continues forward slowly until it starts to get closer to shore. In which at that time the anchor is dropped, and Sin calls for the rest of them. She said, "Well, I suppose this is where we get off. Y'all coming?"
Liven up, you fuckers! Sorry. Liven up, you fuckers!
Yeah.
No, the way you
She-
described it before was that it was completely black. Like even if you shined a light in the very center, but you're saying it's like midnight,
Correct.
so you can still see.
Correct.
Okay.
Those of you that do not have dark vision, you have a hard time seeing. Those with dark vision, and those who can see in magical darkness,
I can see in both regular and magical darkness.
have really no problem seeing at this point.
Okay.
From where you are on the ship out in the ocean.
Okay.
So Sin hops on the rowboat. Everybody else, I'm assuming,
I follow
joins.
immediately, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. John lowers the ship down.
I do not think I have dark vision.
I do not believe you do either.
It'd be under racial traits, right?
I would, in fact. Or feats wanted to.
Expert forgery, kinku, and mimicry. That's all I got.
So you have a little bit of a hard time seeing. Again, it's like a dark night with like a half moon. So you can see the light kind of flickering on the waves a little bit. But you can't really see details about the island. You can see the shore. You can kind of see the white as the light is kind of
Blotchy.
shimmering off of the shore. But yeah, it's kind of blotchy.
Oh.
Do you make, is it obvious that you're troubling?
Well, you're all on a rowboat right now, so
Yeah.
probably not.
I'm just looking out like.
So as we get closer to the island, it's just getting darker and darker and darker, basically.
As you get close to the island, it does seem like
Did we
a cloud is covering the moon. It's not that it just gets darker, it just seems like clouds have covered the moon. A light dust of clouds or like a mist.
Where did we park the boat again? I'm sorry.
It's
Was it
ocean.
outside or inside
It's
the sphere?
inside.
Alright.
Shortly after you got inside the sphere and everything just suddenly became
Night.
nighttime, Sin called for the anchor to drop and they dropped it. So
Okay.
they're right inside the sphere. So you make your way to the beach. And again, it's like a cloud covers over the moon. It gets a little bit darker, but you can still kind of see that almost ethereal, very light, very gentle light kind of over everything. And if you squinted really hard and looked really carefully, you can kind of start seeing details about the beach and about the surrounding areas, but it's very difficult to see. Those with dark vision, again, don't really have that much of a problem. But if normally you could see, any amount of distance in dark vision, it is limited a little bit. You'd be kind of seeing as if you were a human at nighttime with like a full moon. The rowboat hits the ocean and Sin gets out. Bard follows suit.
I'm gonna get out, stay close to the boat and send Gwen just on a kind of 100-foot radius, around us, just kind of looking down at,
How high?
20 feet up.
I feel. Does Gwen have dark vision?
Mhm.
What's the range on that?
Double check. I think it's 100 feet.
100 feet?
Mhm.
So
Oh,
as
no, wait, I'm sorry. Well, I think it might actually only be 30. It only confers 30 on me if I don't have vindication, but I do. Raven. Yeah, I think it's 30.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's as you send the bird up,
Mhm.
you can see through Gwen's eyes immediately. Do you have awareness of yourself as well? Or are you just kind of like telepathic linked to it?
It does not, it doesn't say if I lose my own senses if I'm through, seeing through, his eyes. It just says that I can see and hear what he sees and hears, so. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
I
it's
would
more of a
assume,
telepathic link.
as you can see through, his eyes and you hear what it hears within 100 feet of you. While it's within 100 feet of you.
Then I'm gonna say that you do have a telepathic link, but if you
Okay.
want to directly see and hear, you will lose sense around yourself.
Okay.
Is you will literally be inside the head
Right.
of
Yeah.
Gwen herself.
Himself.
But you will not have direct. You won't know what's going on around you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pop into him for just a quick big loop around and then have him come back.
So as he's doing a quick loop around, you do notice that as he gets higher up, it is much more difficult to see. Scores of them, just all over the island. They're very nice. They're not like simpleton, like little, they're like little wooden crosses and things like that. They're all stone, and they all seem to be of different craftsmanship. They all seem to be relating to a different god. Like different different racial constructions. Like some look more elvish, some look more human from one area, some look more almost mechanical, like a gnomish thing. They all seem to be different types, but all very well done, very well crafted, very equally spaced out. It does seem like there are like clumps that are similar to each other as you're flying around, but you just see scores of these all over.
And I'm just, whether anyone else notices or not, I'm just kind of standing there, kind of dead-eyed, going, tombstones. It's all just tombstones. And then I bring Gwen back. And I come back. I snap back in.
Sin's just, well, I'm not surprised. They did say this place was the graveyard for the kingdom.
Oh, things are making a little more sense.
So you did a little scout. What'd you see?
Tombstones, just all kinds, no single make, no single religion, just tombstones.
Bardur, the dwarf, immediately pulls out a large crest shield, very ornately dwarven carved, and he pulls out his axe and immediately ignites it with the fire. But what you notice is normally his fire would put off like a torchlight, but it only extends maybe 10-15 feet around himself.
Uh-huh.
And then it doesn't seem like darkness is forcing it to stop. It just doesn't extend out as far as light should.
I'm gonna just pull a little black and white stone out of my pocket, cast light on it, and just see what happens.
Again, however far it would normally go, I think 60 feet for the light spell, it goes about half that distance, and then it kind of peters out very naturally, like a light normally would, but it doesn't go as far as light should.
Oh, okay. Well, this darkness isn't natural. I guess we already knew that.
Yeah,
But
could have told you
now
that.
Now we know again, I guess.
I'm pretty sure that midnight at 4 o'clock is probably the giveaway.
Right. Here, you hold this, and I'm gonna give a little stone to you.
She gives you a glowing
I'll
stone,
give you a flashlight.
glowing rock,
It's good luck.
like a lantern.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
It
flash.
doesn't, right, there's no beam.
I mean, I guess you could hood it with something, but
It's a little wide of yours.
you have a glowing rock. You have a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a lot of those.
There's a lot of glowing rocks.
There's a lot of glowing rocks.
Alright.
I have a lot if 2 is a lot.
Sin kind of unbuns her coat a little bit. And after she does this, you notice that she doesn't look quite as bosom as she did quite again. The coat kind of opens up and her body seems a little more plain.
By the way, after she hands me the rock, I just look at Sin and I'm like, put it in my pocket and realize like it's like
Yes, you got
right.
another rock.
Yeah.
Very good. But you do notice that there are hand crossbows on bandoliers all across her chest. They seem to be of a custom design. The bow itself is actually collapsible.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of lining her chest, and then she's got another one around her
So when I
thighs.
detect magic on a coat,
Go for it.
I do.
Oh yeah,
But
you
it's-
do.
it's that well,
Yes, the coat is very magical.
That's a neat trick.
Aye, comes in handy, especially in my profession.
I am going to cast daylight on a twig nearby.
Okay.
Just a little twig. And then I'm going to use my animal shape and I'm going to turn into a lemur. And I'm just going to go as far as I can.
Okay. Well, what's the square radius?
100 feet.
100
so
feet?
it's 50 feet.
So yeah, the twig does create. You do see something like a reverse dome of the dome.
Or can I see
I
with
think
the
it's
stone?
30. I can double. Oh, yeah, I think it's 30. I'll double check.
But yeah, it's like the reverse of what you saw in the dome coming up. Like you see the dome of light, and then it's like sunset slowly going into the dome, about 50 feet or so. But when you go into the dome, you do in fact see just tombstones, very
Oh.
evenly spaced. Very evenly spaced, very professionally crafted.
10-foot radius of bright light and then a 20-foot radius of dim light, which
So
they
it would
haven't.
be
No, that's
half.
factoring the having.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not as much stuff. Well, it is, but it's not. Yeah.
But I'm going to go at least like 45-ish feet away from everybody, like towards the island. And I'm going to stop.
This is gonna be everybody.
Yep.
Where about my sin? That's not sin. That was my sin.
Arthur.
Sin.
I'll be a triangle.
Arthur. Your triangle. Unless you want to be this.
There's also this one.
What's that? It's got fire.
Yeah.
That's closer.
Alright, so we'll use that.
Yeah,
for
not
you.
not
Give me that.
instruments. I'll take my
Not
triangle.
anymore. So I'm gonna move the grave seeker over. Just back, 5 feet.
Ugh!
Alright, so
You guys missed
you
it.
start stepping
One
forward.
more.
How far do you go?
Like 45-ish feet away from everyone and then just stop. Maybe like
You're
garbage
right.
can.
Garbage can.
So you go about there.
Yeah.
Win.
Like
And
so
yet-
everyone can still kind of like see where I'm at, but like
So, this island, it's just like kind of the layout of it is just hilly or
You can see so far flat area with
Yeah.
some the beach kind of slopes up gently, very gently, and then you can see a flat area with you can see some tombstones here and there.
Did I see anything geographical in my flyer?
Nothing that really stood out. Like there was,
Just
ground did what
the-
ground does, but nothing special.
Okay.
But it mostly
No
seemed
volcanoes.
no volcanoes, nothing. It seemed pretty flat. Pretty flat land. Seemed like this island was probably picked for a pretty good reason to be a graveyard.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So you
Yeah,
step
we-
forward, and all you see is just tombstones.
I'm not there.
I'm just gonna
No,
wait
yeah.
for to see if anybody else like comes. I'm just gonna like move my little twig. With
Yeah, Bard actually kind of does slowly go forward, and he's kind of like, searching along the ground and whatnot.
I'm gonna follow as well.
Half Pint casts his detect thing.
about it.
And, but of course, he doesn't tell anybody what he discovered.
Pretty much.
But he does the thing, and then he kind of comes up pretty quickly, and Half Pint stays right in between the two tanks. Half Pint's gonna stay right in between those two.
Behind me.
Oh, that is you, right? Fucking, I wanted when you're. This is the tallest one, so I was very confused.
Are there any like trees or anything like that I
Not
can
you can see so far.
Just straight up tombstones.
You can just see tombstones.
Are they all small, or what are the general sizing?
They
of
seem
the
like
ones
for
that-
mostly medium to small creatures. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the stones don't have to be for medium to small creatures.
No, yeah. I mean, there's for the most part, they're mostly very average-sized tombstones, what you'd see in a normal city graveyard. But there are a few larger, slightly more ornate ones here and there.
Okay.
Tilvin kind of starts just walking up. Like, he doesn't have a lot of, width as far as lighting and stuff. But he's kind of looking around. I mean, I guess he's. Well, he actually is waiting for Sin. He's waiting for Captain's orders,
Okay.
actually.
I kind of see just everyone casting their light magic spells for fire, and I just kind of stick out my quarterstaff with one hand, extend or ignite the end of it.
Just ignite the end of the quarterstaff.
Kind of make it like a torch.
Like a
Yeah.
torch.
Should be torch stats on there for how
I
far
already
you can
said
see.
they go about 15
Oh, did you?
because Bard pulled out his axe and lit on fire.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
As I notice everyone kind of like heading towards me, I'll just like keep going forward, just like little by little, while everybody kind of catches up.
All right. So as everybody does kind of slowly make their way. So kind of everybody just behind you. As you go a little bit further in, you notice your sphere starts getting smaller and smaller just as you make your way in. Fairly rapidly. It's now maybe 15 feet of just straight up daylight around you. The torches behind you can see, the axe and the lit on fire quarterstaff, which by the way is currently lighting and burning because it's a quarterstaff and it's on fire.
Can you control the flame?
Yeah.
I mean, he can, but eventually it'll just snuff itself out if it can ever burn to anything else.
That's fair.
But they are, you can see the flame now, still very obviously, but they're not casting any light out anymore. And as you start to make your way forward, you do notice that some of the tombstones look like the bodies hadn't quite been placed in them yet. There's a large mound of dirt next to them. It's very fresh, or it's dug out in a very nice box shape.
The first time we see one of those, I'm gonna go investigate it.
Okay, go ahead. Roll me an investigation check. It's one just off to the left, really. It's one just off to the left. You can
Okay.
see it just on the outside of the daylight.
15.
15? Yeah, it definitely seems to be freshly dug.
Okay.
Not like yesterday or anything, but it hadn't been there for years or anything. But it's
Is there anything notable about the marker? Gods or family names or anything?
nothing really notable about it. It's just like a smith. You do see Herodias. The symbol of Herodias is the god, which it's just a very general good god of light and honor.
Ironic.
Yeah, it's kind of the
God of light.
it's kind of
I turn around and there's just a little raven child next to me going, ironic.
but yeah, Herodias and Pelor are kind of like the default if they're not sure who to use. Just they'll use Herodias or Pelor. They're just
From gods.
yeah, they're just the default basically. But it's something you do notice is it seems that the dirt on the bottom had been pressed down, like something had pushed down into the dirt, but there's nothing there currently. Like it looks like it'd been like hit with like dirt that you kind of like stamp down with a shovel, but look at something that pressed down on it.
I'm gonna look at the. I'm gonna look at the walls of the hole and
Mhm.
see if they kind of look like they've been. Well, I don't know. If something had been moved up, pulled out. If they look like they've been disturbed.
You can't tell. The walls seem like very professionally dug, like from a gravekeeper who had dug the grave, very professionally. The walls are, very smooth up and down. There's some clumps here that are out. You can see like some, earthworm holes. That's probably what made it happen.
Okay.
But yeah, the only thing of note at all is that kind of stamped down bottom, which, is not really normal for building a grave of stamping the bottom down.
I'm gonna send Glenn into it.
Okay.
And just have him kind of root around the bottom, like see if he can see if he can, it's not like it's just a few inches.
No, yeah.
See if there's anything like kind of right under the dirt or anything like that.
Yeah, Gwyn kind of, shoved down and very Raven thing.
Yeah.
Very, very shovel-like actions, and it's no problem disturbing the dirt. It just goes into dirt down. Gwyn kind of manages to peck at a beetle that's down there and eats it and everything, but then continues to shovel, but it's just dirt.
Okay. Alright. I'll just kind of return to sitting a little bit behind the lemur. The lemur with the stick.
Yep.
Makes it way out.
Have a clean.
I've got a job.
I've got the right stick.
And no matter where Bard goes, or no matter where Bard or Ario Speedwagon is, their half pint does kind of stay in between the two at all times.
I'm not sure Ash yet has the sense to do that.
By the way, I kind of I look over to Sin and I'm like, weapons?
What about weapons? I've got all mine.
Then I take mine, string mine up real quick, and
Just don't shoot one of them. If you do, make sure it doesn't hurt.
I'm gonna pull out the special arrow.
The barbed arrow?
No.
Oh.
The other one that I showed you, healing arrow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Might as well.
Are there any plants or anything like that around here and that I can see, or is it just straight up dirt?
Smattering of grass. There's patches of living grass, but it's also patches of dead grass. It's like no one had watered it in a while. So it's very splotchy browns and greens. You can barely tell in the light.
Let's just keep going forward.
Yep. All right, you keep going forward. I want everybody to make me a perception check. At disadvantage. Anybody who's in the daylight at disadvantage.
I suppose that's me.
That's.
Has mine
15, 20. That says about 15, so. Bard and those guys. But Ario and Half Pint would have disadvantage.
Okay. So checking
So
in
I
with
do.
you on UA content. It says that while the Raven's on my shoulder, in addition to gaining dark vision, which doesn't matter because I have the invocation, I gain a bonus to my passive wisdom and my perception checks equal to my charisma modifier while the Raven is perched specifically on my shoulder.
Is the Raven currently perched on your shoulder?
Yeah, I mean he came out if we're done with the grave investigation, then yeah, he came back.
Then yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Because it's kind of, you're both kind of looking and both kind of sharing a mental connection.
Yeah.
It's like both brains are kind of working together to perceive around you.
so the
So if you are inside the daylight, then that will be just a straight check. Because
Okay.
you have disadvantage if you're inside.
Oh, it's not advantage, it's a bonus.
Oh, it's just a bonus. Okay.
So it's a 23 without the disadvantage, so what's the
So
disadvantage?
do I have
It's a
disadvantage
13.
You do not.
or- Okay.
Well, I don't know. Can you see in darkness?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a disadvantage for you because you are a human in darkness right now.
Okay. So I do have disadvantage.
the stone that she gave me is pretty much useless now, right?
Not entirely. That stone specifically does cast about 5.5 feet around you.
Okay.
14.
13.
Still disadvantage, right?
20.
With disadvantage?
I rolled a 14. That was the low.
Mhm.
Plus 6 with perception.
Okay.
That was
Well, actually, if you're adding perception onto it,
5. No, 6.
Nice.
you're adding perception onto it.
You mean I'm adding perception to it, a perception check.
Well, listen. I'm stupid. First off.
I don't see how that relates to this.
I
but
really don't see how that relates to
I'm gonna
this.
throw things at you.
I love you.
Okay, 14. So what are your rolls?
24.
Nice.
So those of you who rolled above 15 can see quite a bit of ways away, or in front of you, you see a figure kind of moving slowly off to the side. Like going from one direction to the other.
Gonna lemur it up.
Does anyone say anything?
There is something out there.
Aren't you a
Lemur,
lemur?
lemur.
Yeah, I'll
Point
say
this
lemur,
way.
lemur, lemur.
There's a.
What the fuck is that?
I don't
You
know,
see
lemur
it too,
20.
right?
Yeah, you got a 20. You do in fact see this shape.
Yeah.
It is definitely humanoid.
There's something there?
Yeah, there was something that moving across over there.
Like an animal or something.
Kind of almost like a human almost.
I'm gonna send Gwen. Talk.
Bard kind of like looks around. He's like, at one point was human.
I'm gonna send Gwen about 20 feet up to look, and if they're within 100 feet, then I can see it. If not,
Except you really. Well, what's the full extent of your dark vision again?
dark vision through him is 30 feet.
30 feet. Send about 20 feet up.
Yes.
Can't see the ground at all.
I guess I'll go down another 5 feet.
Okay. You can just barely see the ground. As you go forward, you do see a shambling humanoid figure just kind of doing its thing.
Shambling like undead shambling.
It definitely, you would know. It's definitely undead shambling.
And then undead. It's undead. And not, staring at nothing. You all see just blank eyes. Just something undead. There's something, and I'm gonna call Gwen back.
Okay.
Is it coming? Do we see it like when? Do I see it just like? Nah, or is
Yeah,
it
it's
like,
just kind of meh.
Okay.
Alright, actually.
I'm gonna draw my wand rod, spellcasting device.
Dang.
Thingamabob.
Yeah, I think it's just a carved bone wand.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
Type Sandy.
I have my longbow and have it drawn. I have the arrow notched.
You said I was about 15 feet away or so.
No, you can just kind of see it off in the distance. It's
Okay.
the Gwyn, the raven, could see it from 15 feet.
Okay. That's farther than that.
It's you would estimate it's probably about 40 feet away from you.
Okay. I just have my quarterstaff at the ready.
Well, now you're like 1/8 staff,
Oh,
whatever.
wait, no. No, I have my hand up like this because my flames can reach up to 60.
I'm gonna shoot into the darkness. Eldritch Blast.
All right, go ahead and roll me an attack roll at disadvantage.
It's a 20 non-natural. 12 plus 8.
Yeah, you go and roll damage.
Oh shit! How many is it at level 5? Is it 2 or 3?
You get 2 at level 5.
Okay, and it's a D10, right? Should I roll 2 to hit or take the?
Yeah, both. I have unfortunately read up on this more than once. They are separate beams, and you do have to roll both.
Okay, so the first one that definitely hit is a 11 damage,
Okay.
force damage, and the second one with disadvantage as well is only a 10 to hit. So
Go and roll damage.
the 10 hits. That's a 10 force damage.
For both?
No, the first one is 11, so it's 10.
Oh, okay.
Wait, one down. Okay, so you can kind of barely notice in the darkness. You can kind of you see the kind of electric tentacles shoot out from your wand, and they kind of swirl. They're hard to see, but
It's
they
a little nicer than tentacles. I'm not a great old one.
traditionally they're tentacles
I
or
know.
tentacles. But by all means, do you want them to look anything different?
I think
For
it's-
character
I think
thematic
it's-
purposes?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of an icy white light.
Icy white light shoots out and hits it. And you kind of see it move, and then it kind of stands and continues along.
Well, it's still moving.
See you, dude.
I do just want to say that I have a favorite enemy of monstrosities. I don't know if
Okay.
that's gonna.
Okay, no, that's good to
relate,
know.
But
I
yeah.
will keep that in mind.
But I think I have to know that I'm looking for monstrosities in order to. It's not. Because.
Favorite enemy gives you advantages in dealing with them.
Yeah. Survival checks to track
Mhm.
your favorite enemies, as well as advantage on intelligence checks to recall information about them. And I also.
Bard
learned-
pretty much literally has favorite enemy,
Yeah.
with like not as good.
Well, yours is a widespread kind of thing, where
Yeah.
you get a lot of them, where I get. Swamp is my favorite terrain.
Okay, you're not in a swamp.
I know. I'm just. In case things switch up.
Hey, listen, Laura Bailey, you can't be like, it's a little wet on the ground. Are we in a swamp?
Hey, I'm not gonna lawyer that shit. I'm just saying what could potentially apply.
Okay,
Because I don't know the layout of this area.
none of them apply.
That's fair.
So what are you all doing?
I think I'm gonna go after it.
All right, so you rush ahead out of the daylight.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see it's like a thick layer of clouds over the moon now. You can it's again like you're in midnight. Your eyes will eventually adjust. It
Is
doesn't take,
it magical darkness or not?
I mean, it's hard to tell.
I would be able to tell because I'd be able to see.
Pretty well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty obvious that this
Even at light.
darkness is magical, but it's not
Oh, well.
from spell.
Okay, yeah. I mean, all it says is 120-foot range of magical darkness. So.
But you do not have a 120-foot range of sight.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
You right now you're basically can only see maybe 40 or 50 feet in front of you in grays.
Mhm.
You can't see any color at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot it in if it's still within my sight line.
Yeah.
All. Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty close to. I should probably actually.
But then it was like lumbering along.
Yeah, you ran pretty close, but yeah, you hit it with the spell. It kind of wobbled a little bit and then
Wow,
just
that's really
kept
close.
Yeah, it was only about 40 feet in front of you guys.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it again. Do I have disadvantage?
No, because you can see it just fine now.
Okay, so the
Because you're
first.
no longer in the darkness or in light, looking into darkness.
Yeah. First to hit is 26. The second is also 26. I just rolled 2
Yeah, you hit just fine.
Okay.
This entire
12
Let her do the thing.
and 7. 12 and 7 damage.
That first hit, the very first one to hit it, both kind of shoot out and go around it, and then the first hit and it just falls over, collapses.
I'm gonna. There's open.
Okay, seems to be dead.
Okay, I'm gonna investigate it. I want to see anything about it, any weird marks or anything.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Oh, well, that's not gonna work. That's a 3 plus 3, 6.
6. I mean, there's something stupid obvious that does stand out to you. It's wearing a very bright pink dress. Seems to be very cobbled together, but it's very bright, pink, nice dress, like someone would go to a quinceañera. That's about it.
Human?
Yes.
Well,
formerly human?
Definitely seemed like it was human.
Okay.
We can roll a medicine check to know for sure.
Sure.
Okay, roll me a medicine check.
16.
16? Yes, it was human.
Alright.
Okay. You know what? Gonna go back to the group now.
Right, so you kind of go back to the group. Do you go into the daylight or not into the daylight?
I'll skirt around it. Since it seems to be making it harder to see. It's dead again. It's wearing pink. Kind of weird. I don't know. There was a zombie and now it's gone.
Admittedly, I've never seen a pink wearing zombie, but depending on who died at the time, sure, why not?
Well, I mean, this is supposed to be a place of rest. There shouldn't be zombies. There shouldn't be anything.
You're new to this world, aren't you?
Sure.
Trust me, not quite as many things as should stay dead.
I think that's why I'm here.
I think I might agree with you.
I'm gonna go towards it.
You're gonna towards it, you
Yep,
run.
with my stick.
So you rush forward,
Yep.
and you see the dead pink wearing body.
Okay. I'm gonna investigate it.
Okay, roll me an investigation.
I notch my arrow, put it back in my quiver, and I'm just
Inside it.
waiting on Sin's instructions. Like,
Okay. Sin is following very closely behind the whole time. She's really kind of watching what everyone else does right now. She's making sure she's not too far away from everybody, but she's very much just kind of seeing what everyone else is doing. Like, eyes constantly scanning everything.
I get a 7.
is anybody else from the crew with us?
7? Yeah, so you noticed the same thing. She noticed she's pink. Definitely seems kind of younger, but not child. Human. Wearing pink. But no, it's just you and Sin.
Well, I suppose we need to press on. At least. I do. I never asked what a lot of you were doing here.
We are looking for information on a thing. But I guess now I'm here to kill dead things. And Sin kind of pipes over mine. Apparently somewhere around here there's a church. A very large church with a very large library that had access to basically every living soul and magical object in all of Somerset Kingdom. So if I'm going to find information about the thing that I want, I have to come here. But I've never come here this many people, so I like my chances currently.
Have you been here before?
Oh, never.
Alright. Inside check.
Go ahead.
Nah, 19.
19? Yeah, she is definitely telling the truth. She has never been here before. She does preface that with, I've heard of people who have come here before. They don't come back. So I figured, why risk my life? But now, unfortunately, I have a reason.
Do I see which way it was coming from, like footprints on the ground or anything like that?
No, the ground is pretty dry. So it doesn't really leave any obvious trails. You do kind of see a little bit of a, wherever there's like super dead grass, you can kind of see drag prints where it kind of like dragged one of its feet here and there. And it definitely came from one way and was going the other way. There doesn't really seem to be anything either way. All you can see is, for the most part, darkness.
I'm ahead of you guys. Lemering.
Wow. I'd rather not go up there alone. So I suppose I'll follow you in your search. Keep my eye out for anything else on.
Forward, wheels go forward. Halfway definitely stays out of the light.
He's got his glasses though, so.
Yeah, he does. But he definitely stays out of the light. Okay, do you stay in the light or leave the light?
Arthur.
Or sorry, Arthur, do you stay in the
Okay.
light or stay out of the light?
What? That's
His brother was
I keep
outside.
up with him. I keep up.
Do you stay in the light or out of the light?
Recently? Wait.
No, it was his
In
brother's
the light.
character.
His brother,
Like,
okay.
we switched brothers.
Okay.
So there was one Kaiser who was playing an evil character who wasn't so much of an evil character as Sonic the Edgelord.
Yeah.
Who just brooded the whole time because apparently that's what evil is to him.
He would have been my friend.
I was probably going to have him killed. But I know you have plans for him, it's fine. And then he joined in and is not an edgelord, so cool.
Drunk and weird.
The other guy.
Which is much more fun.
The other guy. Sin actually does kind of stay somewhat behind you, but kind of off to the side.
Yeah, my main thing is to stick with the captain and make sure nothing crazy happens to
Okay.
her.
What's everyone's passive?
With Gwen on 13.
Okay.
Oh wait, no.
Passive
17.
Perception.
perception?
Gwen's is
14.
13, mine's 17.
17?
For him.
41!
41! Damn!
17.
How do I check that?
It should literally
It's
be in
just a
your
wisdom
skills.
score.
And it's not just your wisdom score. Sometimes you get a bonus to it.
Well, I have one now.
Oh, okay. This.
Your passive perception is 16.
Unplayed
Nice. Very nice.
some class.
So those of you above a 15 have...
Ah!
You fucking hurt me. Do notice a couple more shambling shapes in front of you. Those of you above a 10 do notice that more of the graves, roughly here and there, seem freshly dug, as if they were ready to have something be put into it.
There's more. There's more of them. How many do I see?
You see 3. They're going in random directions.
They're not all going. Are they all coming from the same place?
One's kind of heading what seems to be left to right. One's about 10 feet behind it, going from right to left. The other one's kind of doing like a zigzaggy thing in a fucking chaotic random ass pattern.
Right. So this place is crawling with zombies. Where did you say that library was? Or church?
It's a really good question.
I don't know.
On the island. But if I were to venture to guess, somewhere near the middle. That's where I put a building on an island. That's a graveyard.
How are the lights doing that we are holding?
They are dimming quite a bit more.
I'm just gonna get rid of mine.
3 years.
Yeah.
You are pretty much in all blackness, but much like just a standard midnight night, your eyes do slowly adjust and you are seeing as if it was just a very dark night.
I do have dark vision also, so cool.
Yeah, okay, so you can see a little bit further.
Yep.
In grays. Mostly.
You got them too?
What?
You got.
She's a
I
gnome.
just, yeah, I'm a gnome. I have.
Oh.
Gnomes haven't happened.
I thought you
Not all
said you
short
had
people
dark
are the
vision
same.
goggles.
Racist.
I thought you said you had goggles too.
No.
Pathfinder has
I mean, she probably does. She's a gnome, but not like dark vision goggles.
No, I
I
thought that's
people
what
wear
she said.
goggles.
Pathfinder has goggles.
No, but most gnomes probably do.
Tinker Tailor.
I know, fucking tinker assholes. I gotta see a gnome doing that, but like, no, gnomes have goggles, you racist! Pulls out a pair of goggles.
Pulls down goggles.
It's like, not all steampunks have goggles, as all steampunks literally own goggles.
Right.
I'm also going to lemur, just like our speedwagon.
That's actually a good question. Do lemurs have dark vision?
Let me double check that. Not 100 on that though.
I don't think they do.
Well, what did we? It was a monkey. Is that what we established it was?
Yeah, we established spider monkey. If there's spider monkey, not even monkey.
Get it?
I know there is monkey because I used it.
Yes, there absolutely is monkey. And I know there is spider monkey. I don't know if it's easily accessible through standard books. But there absolutely is spider monkey. It's digging deep.
We've got perfect Lola. I love that.
I know, right?
The animation still has Molly in it though, and it makes me sad.
They'll never update it. It's they can't.
Dude, it took them 3 months to do it.
Beautiful animation.
Yeah, it was amazing and so 90s.
Just
80s.
We're in
80s.
Cartoon 80s, yeah.
We'll just put cat in the next one.
You sure it was monkey that we established? What the fuck?
It was monkey that we established. I'm just gonna Google this shit.
Okay, thank you. Oh wait, no, there's flying monkey.
Close enough.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, except that that's called flash food.
We're just
Nope,
worried
you
about
have
dark
nimble
vision.
escape, but not dark vision.
Okay. I'm gonna wait.
You do have a climb speed of 40 feet though.
Look at me go.
Right? Look at me go.
I can't see, but I can fly.
Hey.
You know what challenge rating is?
I'm gonna
The
slowly go back.
reception on here is spotty at best.
Guys, I'm telling you, I don't have a phone.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah.
And then they're walking around with my headphones plugged into my tablet.
It's probably pretty awkward.
Whatever. What else?
Alright, so.
I'll notch my arrow and get ready again, but
I'm gonna hold and I'll just blast for anything that might seem like it's moving towards us.
I mean, this one's moving kind of in a general direction of you. This one's the one that's kind of like going in like a zigzag. And you've been able to see it. It kind of goes about 5-10 feet one way, and then kind of goes 5-10 feet the other way, and then kind of goes 5-10 feet the other way.
I guess if it passes within 20 feet of me, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do the rest of y'all do?
I wait on Captain's orders.
I'm holding a lightning lure.
Okay.
I'm just slowly trying to creep back towards everyone.
Alright, so like creeping back towards everyone.
Yep.
It doesn't take you very long to literally bump into somebody.
Okay. I'm just gonna climb the next person that I see.
There is a lemur climbing up your staff. It's not an undead lemur.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Lightning lure!
You're lightning.
So the one zombie kind of keeps going one way, the zombie kind of keeps going the other way.
Okay.
This zombie does kind of keep zigzagging and whatnot.
So I'm like holding it just to
It
gesticulate.
gets pretty damn.
Gesticulate with them more. I'm good.
The swirling zombie does get pretty damn close to you.
I'm gonna shoot.
Okay, go ahead.
Do the that's a 19-day hit, and that's a 26 to hit.
Roll
No,
both.
25 to hit.
Roll both damage.
9 and 9 force.
Alright, it is still standing. And it's, even though it's like right next to you now, pretty much,
Yeah.
just keeps on its path.
Notice.
It- I mean, it definitely seemed to notice. It kind of like looked over,
And
and
it
then it
seems
kind of kept going.
unconcerned with us.
Seems unconcerned.
Maybe we should follow one of them. What do you all think?
Well, they're going in 3 separate directions.
Oh, pick one. You're the captain.
Well, you shot this one, so we can easily kill it if it does anything.
Right. I'll follow
In
this.
theory. Bard kind of makes his way and stays pretty far behind, but is very obviously kind of falling down.
Split the party.
After I realize that I'm climbing his staff, I'm just gonna be like monkey scratch and then just like turn back into myself and then jump down.
You have an angry gnome on your head.
Bumper. And I kick him. No. Well, if they seem fairly indifferent to everyone, so why don't we just keep going straight? If they don't care, why should we?
Well,
Because fuck them.
let's go somewhere, at least. They don't seem intelligent, they just seem...
They're undead, that's not really something they're known for.
Somewhere. These ones are just victims of some other force, I think. Right, let's just keep going.
If you say so. Some turns.
Keep going straight.
You know what? Fuck this thing. And she
No.
runs over. She pulls out a rapier and just stabs at it.
once the captain starts attacking it, I do too.
Okay. Well, she lunges out. She right through its spinal cord. His head just kind of falls over, and the whole thing just collapses. She. Don't worry, little bird. I have a feeling there'll be a lot more for you to practice on.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna investigate it since it's there.
Okay. Roll investigation.
And 15 total.
15. Looks to be elven, half elven. It's got pointy ears.
Adult.
Younger, but definitely adult.
Okay.
Wearing a light blue dress, much like something someone wore to a quinceañera, but light blue, kind of patched together.
Whoever did this is dressing them. That's a little weird.
Like dolls?
Don't you usually dress someone up before you bury them?
Yeah, but unless these were all buried by the same people, I feel like whoever animated them might have dressed them.
Do the tombstones have what island they're from on it? Like where they were buried? Like
Roll me an investigation. You gotta get right up close to one, but
without falling in? Investigation, you said? That is 14.
14. Yes. Each tombstone actually does seem to have. It doesn't have much context for you, but does seem to have a symbol on it, as well as a name, date of birth, date of death. Has a race, and then depending on that, has a clan, and then it has what seems to be the name of an island.
Okay. So, and I check other ones. Do they seem to bury the same people from the same islands in the same area, or is it like
As
this
explained
person's
earlier,
from
yes.
one?
As explained earlier, yes.
Okay.
They are all similarly grouped, based in loose associations, either by culture or by deity. And culture a lot of times does mean the island that they're on.
Yeah.
But not always.
I want to go investigate that zombie's dress.
Okay.
That fell out.
Okay.
Do I notice that there's like different like patterns and like different fabrics that are used?
Roll me an investigation. And are you at all proficient in clothing? Can you sew? Do you have a sewer's kit?
I don't think so. But I got a 13.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Just wood carving and
I mean, they definitely seem to be pretty similar. It's not like Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy or anything like that. It's like fairly similar patterns and
like fairly similar but not completely like the same.
there's some like a sleeve will be a little bit different or something, or like there'll be like a patch where like probably a hole was.
Okay.
Did I notice the gender of either of the zombies I investigated?
The first one's a medicine check. You did notice female.
Okay.
Can't. And this one seems to be dead pretty long. You can't tell just at a glance,
Plus elf. Alright.
but you can roll to find out.
Sure. Yeah.
Medicine.
Medicine?
Yep.
Oh, it's been 9.
9. This one's been dead a long time. You cannot really tell what it was.
9?
You can just barely tell that it's kind of got sharper features, and you can see what definitely seemed to be most of a pointed ears.
Okay.
Elf of some sort, whether half or full, you're not sure.
Okay.
Maybe we should kill one more just to be on the safe side.
Alright. Which one?
No. Bard, go get that one. You seem itching too.
You don't have to tell me twice! And he rushes over and takes a good swingling at it. That's my 20.
Swing
A little
along.
slang line.
Ding, ding.
Swing like a ding dong.
I'm gonna walk back towards the
Eight. Alright, he is one-handing this bitch. So that is that. D6. 8, 4. Wait, do I have my... I forgot that fucking Matt changed the blood honey. Do I have a D6 yet?
What colors are come?
Some colored.
Some colors. Nothing fun. No, no. Dance.
Yes,
So-
my fire damage is a D6 now. Awesome.
Because you need more of no.
I do need more of that.
Going all zombie island.
I absolutely need more of that.
Scooby-Doo.
I haven't like attacked
We're the
Bard in
same.
so long. Bard, how do you attack? +4.
This is very spooky.
6. Okay, yeah, Bard takes a swing, takes another swing. Oh, and that was 2. 7, 12. Yep, so Bard takes a swing. You can see the flames in the air, but it doesn't put off any light. You can see the flames cut through it, and he brings it up again. The flames kind of lick up the zombie, and it kind of just falls over, and the flames disperse.
He's dead again.
He's dead.
Is it in a dress?
Looks like.
What color?
Skips out the fire.
He has to bring the fire down really, really close because he can right now really only see grays. He
Black.
brings it- looks to be like a green, like a spring green.
Is it poofy?
What do you mean by poofy?
Is the dress poofy? Is it?
I mean, all dresses poof a little bit, don't they?
Goodness. I'm gonna go over and look at the dress.
Okay. Roll me investigation.
Goodness.
Roll me a fashion check.
Yes, it is definitely a rather nice dress, much like one would wear to a quinceañera. It is a nice spring green, kind of lightish green though, like muted.
Do I tell if it's all the same fabric?
Do you see similar fabrics?
Okay. So these fabrics are similar, but they're not the same. Somebody's dressing these things up. Do I tell if it's a boy or a girl? Like what's the gender of
You
this?
have to roll a medicine check.
God damn it! I don't want to roll a medicine check.
Well, you
I
have
just
to.
wanna know.
In order to know that.
I just want to know.
Too bad.
Can you show me?
Do it? No.
No.
Thank you. Can
Can you show me?
I
I got a 7.
Zombies.
You got the 7?
Mhm.
Can't really tell.
Okay.
Definitely humanoid. You can tell that. You don't know if that means it's human or not, but it's humanoid.
Nah.
But this thing's more like beef jerky than a creature.
I'm gonna. So I'm going over and make a medicine check through him.
Okay, go and roll for that.
7.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely humanoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a little bird friend next to you. That's gonna sit on your head.
Okay.
Wait. I have a thing for this.
By the way, like
Wait.
every single time that the bird flies, like Dylan is like,
Oh no! Yes, exactly like that.
Just sits on her head.
Could somebody tell if this thing was, you know, girl or guy or whatever in between something?
What languages does bird speak? Does it know Avon? Or does it just speak bird?
Not.
I don't.
I don't think it has languages. I
Okay.
think it understands me. No. I think it just understands me telepathically.
Alright.
We can mimic anything. But
You guys can talk by mimicking each other. Neat.
Oh, you're gonna think that it's responding back to you.
Mine.
Mine?
My.
Mine?
Back off, Gerald.
Bard kind of looks down. It looks like it was a girl. I can't tell what race it was, but looks female.
Do you think it looks like a girl because it's in a dress or because it actually looks like a girl?
It kind of looks like a girl.
Alright, moving on.
Don't know how I know.
Should we do?
Our
My accent keeps changing.
3 out of
Classes
4?
and islands.
It happens. It happens.
I can give it a go.
Alright, go get the other one.
I'm proficient in medicine.
I
I'm gonna kill the other one.
Oh,
Why do you keep fucking
3 out of
dropping
that's 3 out of
Taze's old
4.
characters, man? That's
Because
fucked up.
because they're regular.
That's fucked up, man.
Are we
Just 'cause
in
she's gone doesn't mean
initiative?
she's dead.
We're not in initiative, right?
No.
I'm just gonna snipe the other one till it dies.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's a nat 20 for the first.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll super damage.
Well, it's.
I'm gonna consider both hit. Go ahead and roll super damage.
Huh?
I'm gonna consider they both hit. Go ahead and roll super damage.
Okay. Well, so that's
We re-roll the dice twice.
Yeah, no, I know. Don't
Yeah.
worry. So the first one is 8 plus 5 is 13 for the first, and it's 9 for the second. Not great rolls.
No, like instead of like doubling the roll, we actually rolled 2d.
Yeah,
That's what she
I
did.
did. I doubled the dice, and then I added my modifier
Okay.
for agonizing
I
that's
thought you
blast.
what
hit for both beams.
So it's 14 and 9 are the two damage
Okay,
rolls.
okay. So 14 and 9. Yeah, it just immediately.
Alright then.
Whenever you do that again.
Go up and look at that one.
The Kenku kind of arches it.
Come on. Come help me look at it. Dude.
I'm sticking next to the captain like the entire time.
I'm gonna go over and look at that one because, you know, I'm
I
gonna.
mean, she's making her way forward, so.
I'm going forward as well.
I investigated.
I got a 22.
She's kind of making her way forward, so.
Like a bitch.
I'm gonna go up and investigate as well.
Okay.
It's a 13.
That was
Wait,
actually a
that was
7.
3
It was a
plus
7. You
22?
read it right.
And for investigation?
6.
6.
13.
Are you gonna investigate too?
Sure. Am I doing investigation?
I got
or
a
medicine?
15 for medicine.
Are you investigating or trying to find out if it's what race it is? I asked you to investigate.
I'll investigate.
Okay.
I guess.
22 for investigation.
Yes.
And I got a 15 for medicine.
Yeah, you don't know. So you look down and it is not super dead thing. Seems to be dead not that long ago.
Okay.
Wearing kind of like a light lily orange dress, much like someone would wear to a quinceañera. Definitely
What is
half elf.
lily orange? Is that an actual color?
Yes, tiger lilies, man.
Lilies, many lilies are orange. It's pretty.
You're not like pulling this.
No, it's a thing. Lilies are orange.
Alec, there's
Some
literally
lilies.
millions of colors. Literally
There's so
millions.
many
And
colors.
all of them have been
Weird.
given a name. Thank you, Pantone.
It's like a bright orange almost.
It's like
Yeah.
Tickle Me Pink.
It's very saturated.
Wait, what?
Tickle Me Pink. It's a thing.
Anyway, what's the dead thing look like?
Yes, I'm aware that's the
It is
same.
a younger
There's an
female,
actual color
half
called.
elf.
Yes.
So
It was mac and cheese
like a
orange.
dirty blonde hair. It's kind of, it's definitely lightened a little bit in death, but you can tell it was like a dirty blonde.
That
Um,
is an actual
Younger
color.
than me, younger?
No, about the same.
The
age.
actual
Maybe
fuck.
like
Chocolate brown.
it's hard to tell, but maybe a year
Okay,
or
that
two
makes
younger than
sense.
you.
Okay.
Definitely younger though.
Do I tell that it's like the fabric is the same or is
They
it...
definitely seem to be similar
God
fabrics,
damn it!
but they're not exactly the same fabric.
Fucking God. Literally. Fuck you. Anyway. So it's a girl. We've established.
Yes, yes.
Alright.
Girl, half elf, dirty blonde.
Okay.
Looks to be about the same age as the bird one here.
The
You were saying, Selena?
Something on this island is creating dolls.
I think so, yeah. We've got to find it and stop it.
Not evil dolls, just dolls. Maybe someone's lonely? Question mark in the air?
the graves.
Mhm.
Are all of them dug up like that
No.
we passed by, or is it
So
every
far,
other
it's
one?
been sporadic, random.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be a pattern to it.
From what I can, like, whenever I'm reading them, do they seem to have more prevalent female names over male names?
Yes.
I will give you
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
history check.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's history, I guess.
Because with also my background, would I have
I'm gonna-
disadvantage with that? Because I haven't really
Absolutely.
been around people.
Absolutely. Is it a 1?
Uh-huh.
Cool. They are really cool names. You don't know what the hell a male or female name is, though. No idea. As far as you know, Sin's a female name and Bard is a male name. Like, that's about what you know.
The nearest grave.
John is probably an orc name.
Makes sense.
Orc John.
Or yeah, John. It's a very standard orc name, John.
It's like Orc Dave.
Do I see is there like a grave like fairly close by me that's open?
Yeah, there's one
Okay.
only like 10 feet away.
I'm gonna reach down and like touch in the dirt.
Uh-huh.
And do I feel that it's like moist? Like it's fairly freshly dug, or it's dry like the topsoil?
It is definitely moist. This one, yeah, it's not the same age. Like it had been dug up, obviously early in the topsoil. You don't know how long from now.
But like the consistency, it feels more like muddy, like cooler.
Yeah,
than,
it's not like
dry.
brand new or anything, like by any means. But you can tell that it hadn't sat there for like years and years and years.
I'm also gonna read the thing,
Okay.
the tombstone.
Okay.
And you said that was history? Got a 14.
Now are you trying to figure out the
If it's a
name
girl or a
thing?
boy's name, yeah.
Are you trying multiple?
No, just the one that I've got right there.
Just the one?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that one is human, and it's Mary Beth Shaler. And it's, I mean, you would assume it's
Mary Beth,
you
of
assume Mary
course.
Beth is a female name. You don't know if one of these islands is weird and like flips the names around. It very well could. You don't.
Well, this is a female name. And that's a lot of dresses. I'm calling dolls. Or creepy harem fetish. I don't know.
Alright, well, this is weird enough. I'm gonna send Gwen out beyond my range with the instruction to look for another living being, human, so say sentient being on this island, and come back to me if they find one, if he finds one.
Alright.
I'm gonna put him at the, tell him to fly like no lower than he needs to sea to try and stay, out of range of danger.
How many hit points does your bird have? Just out of curiosity.
My bird I just rolled it has 1 hit point.
Awesome. Okay.
But he comes back on a short rest, so
Yeah, cool. How fast does he fly?
30.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I can double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 30.
To the 30 or 40 one too.
Well, let's just continue on.
I'm pretty sure a bird can fly faster than a lemur can climb. Pretty sure.
50, sorry.
That's what I was gonna say. Pretty sure a bird can fly faster than a lemur can climb.
10 foot walking, 50 foot flying.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, more like 10-foot hopping, but whatever. Adorable raven hopping.
It's the most adorable thing.
We're just rolling around.
Dear God. Alright.
Alright, so your bird flies out of range. You do definitely see more and more of the graves are open as it flies over, and then you lose the link with it.
Alright. In the meantime, maybe we press on.
What's the general size of the zombies that we
What?
killed? Like the height?
They're all medium size, around the
Birds flying.
5 foot to 5.5 feet range, usually.
The one that was just killed, that was the least dead.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna take its dress.
Okay. You strip the least dead zombie, all of its undead naked bits for
So
all
I'm
the world
gonna
to
shake
see.
it. I'm gonna stick it in my
It's
belt.
got
No.
You
give that
now
back.
have a lily orange dress of various fabrics that looks like something someone would wear to a quinceañera.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna shake it. I'm gonna shove it down in my pack.
There is now a somewhat freshly dead, naked
I'm
young
gonna take off my
human
cloak
girl.
and lay it over.
Neat.
Okay.
If someone's creating
Just turn and
dolls,
glare at her.
if
Yeah.
someone's creating dolls, this could get weird anyway.
Yeah, but she was a person once. She doesn't deserve that.
She's naked. It's fine.
No, leave her with a
She's
little
beautiful.
dignity.
She's beautiful.
I'm leaving my cloak.
Bard moves.
Which I guess means my arms are bare. If that's still a question.
Bard turns and walks over, and he grabs a torch from his pack, and he lights it to his thing, and he sets fire to the cloak,
What are you doing?
burning the body. It is tradition in many places. It's not anything bad to do.
Alright.
And that is the best way to stop something from coming back.
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong. Well, don't try to set the whole place on fire if they're indifferent to us.
What else is the
Not
fire
yet.
We shouldn't be allowed to continue like this either way. They deserve to rest.
We'll be
If
stopped
it's any
when-
consolation, there's no soul in that. It's just a husk.
Husk, you said?
It is a husk. A puppet. There's nothing in these things.
I'm gonna continue on. Are we on a path? Or are we just wandering?
You are currently just kind of wandering.
I'm gonna continue deeper into the island, I guess.
Okay.
Hopefully someone comes with me.
Roll me a percentile. That's Robert.
A what?
Roll me a percentile.
Oh.
If you have bird-themed ones, use those. If you have ones you specifically use for the raven, use those.
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Then roll percentile.
Well, I guess I've been using
Okay.
color correcting, but that's. Oh, I guess it's a 10. Well, it's a 1, so it's a 10 percentile dice. Oh,
So you roll the
10 and then
the 10 and then the 10.
D10.
Use the 10 with the 10 and
It's
then
an
you use the
11.
10 with the 10.
An 11.
That's a D8.
That's a D8.
So what you do for percentile
Okay.
is you take that die
I know. And, then
and
roll
one of the
this
D10s and you roll them together. So just go ahead and roll it. 25. Okay. Do you... I'm not saying anything has happened, but if something does happen to your raven, do you feel anything?
I think if it's outside the 100 feet, I don't, unless the queen herself tells me something.
Or you take a short rest and then it suddenly
Yeah.
appears and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, tell me everything. What happened? Where were you? What happened?
I mean, usually I have to think. I mean, for most things like that, usually you are aware if you lose your connection to it, but I don't think the bird is so much a spiritual animal as it's being lent to you. So it's not like an animal companion or a spirit animal. It's like it's lent to you. It's its own thing.
It's its own being. Yeah, it's not.
And it's basically like a Hugin and Mooning kind of thing where like they're borrowed. So yeah, okay. So I don't think
Yeah.
that you would know if anything has happened. Okay.
Yeah, it's a spirit sent by the Raven Queen to watch over you.
Okay, then yeah, it's absolutely its own thing.
Yeah.
Its own. You have no idea. Okay. Okay.
Keep walking.
You
Let's
keep
go.
walking? Alright, as you get forward, or as this, it doesn't take you very long before you actually start seeing more shambling things. They're variously all around, and the very edges of your vision, you can kind of see them kind of going random directions here and there. You see more and more of the graves undone. You start seeing a couple paths that seem to be following along, like in between the spots of graves, basically. Like paths people would take to go visit gravestones and things like that. Main travel paths.
Are they all dressed similarly?
Roll me a...
Nah, crap. I think that's plus. Sorry, just one second. Gotta get my character up.
Actually, yeah.
Super intense music on a perception check.
Well, it's spooky, very almost.
That's 15.
15. Of the ones that you can see, they definitely seem to be wearing dresses of similar fabric. Very similar to something the one we were wearing kids together.
Yeah.
I got a 25 for perception.
Yes, they are definitely wearing dresses of various colors. Of similar but not the same fabric. Something like someone would wear to a quinceañera.
By the way, what is a quinceañera?
It's a party for whenever
It's a sweet 16 party.
yeah for
Sweet 15 party.
It's a
But
coming
with
of age
m-
party.
It's
for
with more
Sam.
Catholic
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the girl whose party it is wears a very poofy pink dress.
A very poofy dress that looks like something you would wear to a wedding than anything else.
Like a shitty bridesmaid dress, basically. But
But
with
not like
extra
short and
sequins.
slutty.
I actually would not say most
Yeah, I
ones
would
I've
call
seen
it
they're
a
wearing
dress.
straight up fucking
Yeah,
brides
in relative,
dresses.
in relative to the poof.
Mhm.
No, a lot of the ones I've seen are straight up brides dresses.
Like,
We actually frame a lot of.
I grew up near Arcola,
Uh-huh.
so
I grew up in Southern California.
no, I'm saying Arcola is kind of like
I've seen
shitty.
it.
Oh,
So
okay.
like they
Not
have
quite
cheap
as
ads,
good.
yeah.
But let me just say, for the quinceañera pictures that we have ever framed at Michael's, their parents gladly drop $600 just to frame a picture of their daughter in their dress.
Remember that
It's-
show in My Super Sweet 16?
It's between a sweet
Yeah.
16 and a bat mitzvah. It's got some religious. It's a Latin American tradition. It's got some religious, some Catholic
okay.
connotation.
So it's not as religious
Depends on the
bar
family.
mitzvah.
Yeah, it depends on the family.
Alright.
But yeah, I would say that it would be more like an Arcola version. They're not expertly crafted, but they've
Yeah.
definitely been crafted with
But
love.
they're
And this
complimentary.
is a dress that only the
the person who's
person
Yeah.
is wearing.
Yes.
Not like everybody wears
The,
it.
the birthday girl is the one wearing the really fancy dress.
Okay. There are a lot of birthdays. And
Is that what? What's your character's name?
Sylvan.
Tillman. Okay. I did not get a straight answer from Bart. So.
You did that.
Bart
right.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody has ever asked my character's name.
Bart doesn't care.
Yep. Nobody cares.
I'm sure Speedwagon cares. I'm
Yes.
very sure Speedwagon cares.
I
But-
should have asked. I didn't do it, but yeah, should have
Yeah.
asked.
But the I forgot.
Yeah. Alright.
Anyway. I mean, so none of them are attacking. None of them seem to really care that we're there.
Yeah, they just seem to be kind of going about their business, really.
Do we
They
see,
they definitely seem to take notice of you, but don't pay you any mind.
and they don't seem to be coming or going in the same direction.
Correct.
Do we see them do anything other than walk?
No, they're just walking.
Or-
But as you're moving forward, there are more of them, more undug graves.
Does it get more and more dense as far as dug up graves?
Everything gets more dense. The graves are closer together. There's a few more undug. They're more tightly packed.
Alright.
And now they're definitely more of in like geometric patterns now, like more evenly spaced out, more planned ahead, basically.
Oh, the
So
grave
there's-
sites.
Yeah,
not
the graves
buildings.
themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's now paths kind of going between like the different plots. And
But there
whatnot.
there's more undead as we keep going.
Correct.
Well, I think we're going in the right direction then.
Do we see
Uh,
any? Go ahead.
We're probably asking the same question. At any point, do we see any kind of building on the horizon? Right?
Well, I was gonna ask if there were any. Like there are a bunch of like meandering paths between the graves,
Mhm.
but are there any like specific roads or anything that like a cart would go down?
Perception check. Perception check. Both at disadvantage, if you would. Keep reading it, both of you. Well,
17.
what was that? 8? 17?
Yes.
You cannot see any sort of buildings or anything like that. You do notice a couple paths that are slightly larger. You can't tell if any carts have been on them yet. But you do notice that some of the smaller paths do kind of converge into a slightly larger one that kind of goes around another plot of graves. Like there's small little sections of plots, and then those are all in a section that are separated from each other, and then that's in a larger section that then they're separated. And so like the paths kind of get bigger and bigger in between those large sections.
There seems to be a larger path right there. Ambiguous direction.
Ambiguous direction. It's like north of where you're currently looking. Maybe just at the edge of your vision.
We didn't look for a map of this place, did we?
You, in fact, did not.
I was too busy saying piece of shit.
Correct. Sin had originally planned to, but then lost track of that idea.
There's a larger path right there.
So we follow it.
Usually, if there's like this many graves, you have to cart them out somehow. And they have to come from somewhere. So if we follow that in,
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Are there any cart tracks, like, and can I tell how fresh they are?
She literally just looked for that, and no.
Well, she looked for a path, but
The path where carts have been down.
Yeah.
She saw a larger path.
I did not look for tracks.
So you'll make your way to the slightly larger paths then?
I would, yeah.
Alright, so you start making your way to one of the slightly larger paths. You can see multiple paths kind of connecting to it. You see a lot more undead as you continue along. Like, you kind of have to, like, move around sometimes as they're kind of, like, shambling down the road. There definitely seems to be more along the roads than anything else. But this kind of larger path meets up with a much larger path that's perpendicular to you. And there are many undead on this very large path.
Are they walking in one direction or are they still?
They're all kind of meandering on the path for the most part, from what you can tell.
But are they going?
A couple of them are kind of fucking off, but most of them are kind of staying on the path.
Are they walking in one direction or another along the path?
I mean, they're all going both directions,
Okay.
mostly. And then, like, maybe, like, one, like, bump into another, and then it'll kind of, like, fuck off.
Well, does the path go deeper into the island?
have any fallen in any dug up graves?
Yeah, you definitely notice one or two doing this. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make
Just
sure.
for the fun of it.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
just like
And then you just hear a
yeah.
fuck. You don't hear a fuck.
No.
Unless Tilden says fuck for some random reason.
Liven up, fuckers. No. But I just wanted to make sure.
But you don't know what deeper in the island necessarily means.
I mean, further from the beach, away from the beach.
Yeah, no, none of them are going directly toward the beach. I mean,
Right.
you only see the large path. The kind of large path you go to goes toward the beach, but it didn't go all the way to where you were. Like, you kind of stumbled across this slightly larger path that then led you to the even bigger path, going perpendicular to it.
Yeah, so keep walking along the biggest path.
On one of the like the convergence sections where it's like one path would go this way to like go and then we're going this way and then
Yep.
there's another one. What direction do the graves face? Like the wording? Do they face like back out towards the water or do they face like more inward?
Roll me a survival check.
Oh shit. Can I drink some of your water?
Yeah, go for it. Let's see here. I got. What did I get?
16 plus whatever your survival is.
7. I'm not good at like quick math. I'm so sorry,
16
guys.
plus 7?
Yeah.
Okay, not only can you tell that they're not all facing the direction you came from at all. But all of the gravestones themselves seem to be facing west. All the gravestones are facing west.
So the writing on them is facing west. Alright. No matter where we are, or is it
They're all
just in
facing
this
west.
initial area?
They're all facing west. These all the ones you've seen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, battery! Hey. Anybody have a battery, dude? Get?
kind of battered, you guy?
Just a micro USB.
In the kitchen,
Take one.
Lock thing here?
it's
switch.
Drink one.
Oh, wait, no, that is micro USB. Okay.
Well, I think we should head west.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because depending on how the island is laid out, like most places where there's a church, the church is in the center and everything is looking like towards the church usually. That way, like people can exit and like look.
I want you to roll me a nature check real quick. With advantage.
With advantage?
With advantage.
Yeah. So I got a 4.
Okay, that's good enough. You do know that west is toward the sunset. Like
Yeah.
dusk or evening.
Okay. Let's go west.
You'll start going west?
Yes.
Okay. You'll start going west. Now, do you follow the larger path? Or do you go off the path?
I follow the path as much as I can with shambling creatures on it.
As you step onto the path, the shambling creatures all stop and look at you.
Oh, I thought we were walking on the path.
You hadn't gotten to the bigger one
No.
yet.
No,
Yeah.
Oh, the large.
The larger one, yeah.
Alright.
You kind of stop to check it out for a little bit.
Do they move toward us? Toward me?
Yes. Slowly, but surely.
I'm gonna walk a step off the path.
Okay, they kind of stop and continue along their way.
Damn awesome the path.
Well, I mean, there's too many of them on the path anyway, so let's walk in between. Let's tiptoe through the tombstones.
Yes. Follow the path. I'm not on the path. Yes. Work for me.
Alright, so you start heading west.
I'll lead
Off
if
of the
no one
path.
else is gonna lead. Yeah.
Alright, so you all continue along and you start seeing more and more and more of the tombstones that are undug. Until it seems like almost all of them are freshly undug. Well, actually, I wouldn't say these are freshly. I would say they've been undug for quite some while now. They seem just as dry as the surrounding area. You don't see a single one covered up at all as you continue along. All the tombstones continue to face west, and you do. What's everyone's passive again?
14.
Everyone who's over 15.
I'm back to 12 now. I don't have.
17?
17 is your passive.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. So you two do kind of see like a glowing, a little bit off to the front right of you, like a very gentle glow. As you all continue to go west.
There is something glowing over there.
Like the sun.
No. Is it? Do I tell if it's like kind of throbbing or is it just a steady glow? Or
It kind of
just
seems like a
pulsing?
mixture of the two, actually. It seems like torchlight and also like unnatural ooh spooky light. It's kind of both.
Okay.
Spooky torchlight.
Torchwood. No. Gwen.
We're torchwood.
Gwen. Sorry, I stole children.
Love it.
Lordy.
They're doing another soon.
I don't know because I stopped watching before it got dark. I just kept I watched all the campy nice bits and then I stopped. And so you know what I mean.
Oh.
I didn't want to watch the bit where everyone's children dies or whatever the fuck happened when. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway. Keep walking towards the light.
you're gonna walk towards the light.
I am.
That requires going through the path.
Oh.
Oh, how wide is the path?
It's a good 15 feet, give or take. Probably more like 20.
So would it require crossing across the path or walking down the path?
It would at least require crossing it.
I'm gonna
Because
misty.
you're going west, the path is pretty much going in the same direction as you,
I'm gonna misty step
and then
over it.
the whoosh is over there.
I'm gonna misty step over it.
All right, so you. The little one just and then on the other side.
I'm not that little. I'm bigger than her.
Bam. The young one.
The young one.
The young one. Definitely the youngest in besides Tilden. The youngest in this group.
The noob of the group. Okay, bye.
But I don't think the birds really count. Because the birds
Yeah,
live like
no.
10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm small. So I'm going to take the dress out of my bag.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna like put it on, but I'm gonna wrap myself around it, like I'm gonna wrap it around myself.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna step on the path, just a little bit out of the path.
All the undead turn and look at you and
I'm
start
gonna
making
step
noise
back.
of you. And then they kind of
Okay.
continue on their way.
That didn't work.
Ario Speedwagon decides to test something. Ario Speedwagon.
I tried.
Ario Speedwagon kind of takes a few steps back and just lunges over the path. Lands on the side, looks around to double check. None of the zombies seem to care. Perhaps I can carry one of you. And he back over. Has to take a running start to do it, but lunges over the path. Also has to wait for like a good break in undead, like playing Frogger. He has to wait for it.
If you maybe toss one of the little ones.
Would you like me to toss a dwarf? No
Nobody
one tosses the dwarf.
I wasn't gonna say it like that.
Some people toss the dwarf.
Oh yeah.
Ario leans down to you, holds out his hand.
Okay.
Alright, you gonna let this happen?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
happen. I'll be chucked.
I'm gonna make an attempt to catch her.
Oh, nice. He's not used to throwing people
Good.
so
Awesome.
much. Especially not one swathed in undead clothing. He grabs you and he flings you, doesn't quite make it all the way, and you say, like, this is the path right here. You kind of face plant right at the edge of the path. And you can hear...
I'm gonna turn into a mouse.
Okay. You turn into a mouse, you are now a mouse laying down on the ground.
And I'm gonna flip.
And you're gonna flip, okay.
Yep. Already mouse, I'm already here.
Okay.
Yep.
You flip the rest of the way. You hear, apologies! He attempts to pick up Half Pint, but Half Pint ain't letting this happen. Down below you hear,
Mouse is on you.
Oh.
you step on it, there's mice all over the place.
No, I think
Squeaks
that's-
indignantly.
I think that's your friend.
Ah, usually she's a lemur.
Might have made it easier to jump that way.
Squeaks indignantly.
I'm so on top of this throwing thing.
What a fly!
Do you rush over to,
I mean, I'm not rushing over, but yes, I am on top of it. I'm so down to be thrown.
how are you informing them that you want to be thrown?
I already said maybe throw the little ones, so.
Yeah,
there's that.
like, I just walk over. I'm like,
She literally just gave you a line.
I
to
just
do
realized.
You can just say throw the little ones.
throw the little ones.
He grabs you, picks you up, flings you.
I'm gonna get ready to catch, which is gonna be really funny because I'm no trick.
He's a bird.
Really not used to throwing people. And he
Oh.
picks you up. And he goes to like, he tries to do a little bit better. Because he did overhand first. He's like, okay, that didn't really work. So he goes to underhand.
Oh, the kangaroo!
Underhands you. And you face first into the path right in the middle of all the zombies.
How do you not land on a zombie though?
Because he literally like underhand, like
Oh.
bowled. So he was
Oh,
on the
he
ground and only went about 5 feet.
How
Now
much
he's in the
damage do I
middle.
take?
I mean, you currently don't take any, but you have about a half a second before you're surrounded by zombies.
Can I use that to blast the two closest? And no, double blast the closest one to him.
Roll me a
To hit?
reflex check. Isn't a thing anymore, is it?
No.
No. Dexterity check.
Okay.
Bug is also gonna roll one. Yeah, you can really quickly notice this. No problem.
No problem. So first beam is
I'm-
20 to hit, not natural. 12 plus 8. And the second one is a 12 to hit.
Is it 12?
20 and a 12.
Whenever he does
Yes.
his throw,
Uh-huh. No, you
Could
don't have
I-
wings.
what?
No, you don't have wings. Okay, what?
I'm going to try and
Oh,
kind of
it's
like,
here.
uh,
Yeah, it's so pretty.
I want to try and like
You get all
protect
your
myself from getting like
Jumping.
super faceplant and like handspring up onto my feet.
Acrobatics.
Do I shoot?
God,
Yeah, and it falls down.
What?
It falls.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
I
saying
didn't roll
false.
damage. Okay, cool.
9.
9. Yeah, I mean, you try to fling up, and you literally fling into a zombie, as it is a
Oh,
value.
good.
Bardur immediately rushes in, and this is probably going to suck for you, and I apologize.
Then my
Yeah, Bard is going to reach down and grab hold of you as he rushes in, and he casts Arms of Hadar.
Oh.
He grabs hold of you, and you can hear like the Eldritch incantation coming from him, and these tendrils just shoot out from him in a force blast, forces every zombie around you guys to just fall straight over and be pushed out, and then he grabs and throws you and rushes across the path.
okay. As Russian as Bardoor can do.
He's very dangerous in short distances.
Yeah. How wide is this path? Like
20
15, 20?
20 feet.
20?
Ish.
Natural born sprinters.
Yeah, so he rushes in, he Arms of Hadar's, and then just chucks you and rushes forward.
Or,
So you're fine.
apparently.
You are currently fine.
I'm gonna just kind of sit down and kind of. You okay? Alright.
Alright.
Alright?
Alright.
Alright. Pat you on the head.
Alright.
I think I've decided you're a child. I know you're not, but
I'm like 20.
yeah.
I'm just.
Little and
Well, I've also not been around like a lot of socialness.
yeah.
So, this is all fascinating to me.
Dad.
But I'm
So now, as far as I know, everybody but Mr. hasn't done anything is crossed. And you are currently the other side of Ario's Speedwagon is now standing on the side of the path, like looking at them, looking around.
well, with what Bardoor did that create kind of a
It did
path
create an opening, a good 20-foot opening.
that
That would save me from having to cast anything if I just wanted to book it.
Yeah, so this spot right here is completely open for someone to book through as quickly as possible if they want to.
Yeah, I go to book it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check real quick.
Athletics?
Yep.
Oh,
So they're not.
nice.
And yeah, you're totally
They're not
fine. You make it
venomous.
across, no problem.
Yeah, because I was gonna do 3.
Once it's done, you just need to flick the window and all the moths will fly into the web.
That doesn't seem sporting.
I
Especially
mean,
because there's just itty bitty
it is
one down here
absolutely
that's like
sporting.
doing its best.
It is absolutely sporting because that's why spiders are so good at building webs in like the most
Golden silk
advantageous
weaver.
places.
Have you ever seen a golden silk weaver?
Oh, I
They're
have.
like, oh my God. They're terrifying, but they're beautiful.
They keep two of their legs together so there's just a big X.
Like their bodies are like this long, and their legs are like twice that long.
That's a lot.
And the males are just like itty bitty little creatures, and they just build these gigantic webs up in the trees and like just basically anywhere they can go. And when the sunlight hits them just right, their webs turn gold. Beautiful.
So you're all now across
Back
the
to
path.
all the zombies.
But spiders.
You are all now across the path. Oh, you'll have more spiders you know how to deal with. What?
Giant spiders.
What?
Creates swarm of spiders.
You cannot do that. You can make swarm of insects.
It's fair.
Yep, unless it's a brown recluse or a black widow, it's not poisonous.
No, those are not poisonous.
No, I'm just checking because it's big.
Okay.
You think?
That's the same
Also
thing.
outside, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I like it a lot more if it's not poisonous. Now I just think.
I know that widows are rare around here, but they do exist. But
Yep.
brown recluses are not quite as rare.
Oof, the opposite is true where I'm from.
Same, honestly.
And widows are shy, so they don't bother you. So even if they're not, you know,
Yeah, you
they're
can.
around,
I can go in like in my
You have to
backyard,
actually
sit in
touch
like a lounge chair. There'll be like 20 fucking black widows under there, but they'll just chill under there.
Yeah, you'd have to actually touch them to get them.
Yeah, they're
to
the
eat.
little
And
scary
I think the
cats.
brown recluse is meaner.
Oh yeah, no,
I've
they
never
will
really
absolutely
dealt with
fuck you up.
one. Yeah.
They're called recluse for a reason.
Right.
That might be messed with.
Yeah. They like damp, dark places. So they're usually found in basements or like storage areas.
They deal severe
Storm
necrotic
They
damage.
deal severe necrotic damage. You have to nat 20 save that
They
shit.
literally necrotize your skin.
I know, yeah.
Ugh.
They do necrotic damage, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of
Anyway.
necroses,
We'll be fighting zombies still.
I mean there are a lot of zombies all over the goddamn place. I don't know if you're fighting them. If you're fighting them, it's up to you.
Not if they're not coming out.
I mean, Bard just fucked up a bunch of them.
Ah. I killed one. Oh, that was my third, I think. Let's walk towards the light, I guess.
I don't like that turn of phrase in this place.
It's funny, but it's also our only lead, so.
I'm with them.
You don't want to go that way. West.
What he said.
Would you like to go and phrase it differently?
I mean, you're still on the ground. You can kind of.
Oh.
You're still face
I got
first on the
it.
ground. I'm with him.
No, I got us.
Yeah.
upset. Do I not get an acrobatics check to see if I'm able to? Because I got back up onto my feet, but I stumbled into a zombie.
Oh yeah, valid. But then Bard grabbed you. I guess you just threw you forward. Yeah, you're fine. I kept thinking you were still face first. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not.
I just find it funny if you like being face first. I'm with him. just I don't know.
Well, we crossed the path so that we could go that way, so I think we should go that way. Unless y'all just dodge zombies for fun.
No, I killed them for fun and profit.
Right. Okay. Onward?
Onward.
Squeaks affirmatively.
Okay, so my shoulder.
It's nice to feel something on your shoulder again, huh?
I wonder where Gwen's going. Welcome back.
Squeaks. Squeaks.
Tries to caw.
Right.
Right.
So you all continue westward.
Yeah.
Doesn't take you very long before you see another very large path that cuts perpendicular to the one you're following, with many zombies on it. About the same amount, give or take. There's not like a ton, but I would say there's one every 10 feet or so.
Can you clear them out again?
If we stop in the rest, yeah.
No, I don't.
I mean, not right now, but if I do it, I have to sit for a bit.
Right. Same. Actually. But really not.
I mean, they seem pretty stupid and weak, so it wouldn't be that hard to kind of like sit and chill for a little bit.
Yeah, they wouldn't really notice, would they? Let's cross, yeah, why not?
I mean, you could literally probably, just as one comes toward you, just kind of like herd it off to the side a little bit. Probably.
Alright. Let's just cross, I guess.
But then he actually kind of goes and tests that, like, he takes his shield and he walks up to a zombie, and he kind of like, and the zombie is kind of like shambling and then kind of...
So it doesn't, when he steps on the path, it doesn't...
He didn't step on the
No,
path,
it's
he
not
found a random
like-
zombie just wandering around. And he just kind of like gently nudges it and it kind of like moves off to another side. It's like, yeah, alright.
Alright. I wonder. I'm gonna minor illusion a little rabbit onto the path and just have it like kind of run around and see what the zombies do.
Scampers and runs around.
Yeah.
Darts
Yeah.
all around. They,
Do they seem like they notice?
they don't even look at it.
Okay. Well, It's not a sight thing, I guess. What do you think?
Bard kind of gets a big grin on his face, and he puts his shield back away and double hands his axe, and he just walks on the path.
Alright.
The zombies start to kind of converge on him. There's one they just do a little bit further, and he kind of like takes a couple swings at it, cuts its head right off, and it falls down. And he just kind of stands there, waits for the rest of them to come forward. Waits for them to be right at him. And then he holds up his axe and like plants it in the ground. You can hear the eldritch incantations. You see like his eyes kind of turn a little purple, and the arms of the tentacles just out from him. The zombies like fly. A couple of them actually like fall off of the path. He kind of turns back around. I think it's clear.
I'll cross.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, everybody crosses, no problem. The zombie's gonna start walking closer, and he casually walks inside the path. Just too fucking easy. I'm used to demons and shit. They don't even come after you. They just walk on a fucking path. Stupid pieces of shit.
I just walk off towards the light.
All right.
Yeah.
Bard sits the fuck down.
Alright. Are you still on my shoulder?
I'm just.
I'm gonna keep walking.
If I try to jump down, I'll be like, oh, look all the damage that I'm gonna get. Because I'm a mouse.
If you want to go to the creepy unnatural light, that's fine, but I need to make sure I can deal more damage.
You wanna rest?
Aye.
Alright. I'll rest.
I mean, you know what I can do now? I can do that thing that you did, but with tentacles. That's it.
Apparently you can do a lot of things with tentacles.
Hey.
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 Seen enough hentai to know what this is.
Oh no.
Are we just gonna have a tentacle joke every
Yes.
fucking campaign?
Yes.
Deal. Doing it.
A warlock and a blood hunter walk into a bar. Alright.
I'm just gonna get us all those shirts that say tentacles
That-
before boys.
True.
Goodness.
That damage that I took, that was from the previous night, right?
You heal that off, no problem.
Oh, your rocks fall.
His rock
Yeah,
falling.
that's right.
Yeah. So do you all chill for a little bit?
Yeah.
I
I get my spell slot back.
chill for like a half an hour because you haven't really exerted yourself at all, so it's half an hour of short resting, no problem. And then y'all get to fire back up.
Alright.
So if you have a thing that replenishes after a short rest, you can do that now.
Mm-hmm.
Short rest. Confirm. Fucking handle right there. Shut the fuck up. God, D&D Beyond. I love you, but stop freaking out. Alright, so I'll get back up, and you start heading toward the light. Awkwardly enough.
Yeah.
You unfortunately notice a very, very large path that a couple of the kind of fairly large paths you all were on. This one seems to be about more like 25 feet wide. And there are quite a number of zombies on it. But I want everybody to roll me a perception check over it.
I'm gonna unmouse during the rest.
Demousify.
Demousify.
Perception?
Perception.
15.
Okay.
Perception was.
I mean, I saw 17, then I saw 3, then I saw 1.
No, it was a 3.
Okay.
18, 19,
And you have no bonus perception?
It was a 3, 4.
So that's a 7.
So, no.
23.
23?
22.
22. Okay. Everybody above 15?
Oh, they're at 15?
Everybody 15 or above. You can now see a little bit more because of the light around the thing. You do actually see a somewhat large white stoned building.
Step on my
You see a large tower with it looks to be a bell tower of some sort. Connected to a large, very, very large white stone building, like pristine white. You can barely see the light of like a stained window of some sort. It's cracked and shadowed in places, but you can still kind of see the colors, just barely. Or you.
Oh, I think I'm back. Sorry. Anyway.
Oh yeah, you're
Well, if he died, I assume he died.
He did.
He died.
He did.
All right. Uh-oh. Okay.
But you can see, because this is both natural and unnatural at the same time, you can see the colors that are on the stained window. So it kind of makes it a little more obvious to see. And there's a couple smaller stained windows along the sides of this large building, but it's just a pure white building. And there's a very large, one of these large paths go straight up to the front of this building. And you can see what looked like very large, ornate doors that are mostly unhinged now. One is on the ground and one just kind of broken a little bit and still in place, but you can tell it's very obviously broken. And the path goes straight up there and you can see a light coming out from it.
Is there any obvious religious symbol, like in the stained glass or on the church or anything like that?
Roll me a religion check.
Is there anything that we can hear
Here.
that's not zombie, but
Here.
6.
6? I mean, none that you can tell.
Yeah.
And you hear. See what I'll do? You do notice that as the path gets closer to the church, there are less undead on the path itself. They're more just kind of randomly around this building.
I'm actually gonna ask Raven. What did you see?
Telepathically, it informs you that it didn't get a chance to see much. It flew into the building, and as it was kind of, it looked like a church from what it could tell. And then it saw nothing, and then it wasn't there anymore.
So, whatever was in there killed my bird. We should be careful. Maybe.
I mean, to be fair, her as a lemur could probably kill the bird.
Yes, but not everything just wants to randomly kill a bird, so...
I'm pretty sure he just wants to randomly kill a bird.
no, he just wants to light it on fire.
This entire time, I'm getting more and more uncomfortable about bird killing. I'm just like,
Phoenix, you say?
I wouldn't kill a bird. maybe a chicken, but they don't count.
I would say that I wouldn't kill a bird, but I've already proven that untrue.
That's fair.
I wouldn't kill you.
I would if you did something to warrant me killing you.
Goodness.
I have no fear.
That's why he killed the other birds. They tried to kill him.
That is a big creature.
Alright.
What? What did we do?
Have you tried walking on
Oh yeah, you'll have
the
small
dead
critters on you, I
creatures,
forgot.
the zombies yet? Like, is that something that we've tried?
What?
Walking on the
Huh?
zombies to get...
No?
On top of them?
Yeah!
If that's the thing you want to do, go for it.
Do you want to go ride a zombie?
I mean-
Zombie riding?
We can try
You may certainly try.
it!
You got excited.
I am in.
You may certainly try. I was not prepared for this. Go for it.
Or like
Carrot
kill it and
tiger.
walk on its body. So that way you're
Like
not...
shoes.
Huh?
Or like wear like shoes.
You're
Are
gonna
you kill them in a path so that you're standing on
Are you gonna
the
take
Yes.
their dress too?
No! The dress is gone. I
Yeah,
left
so
the
obviously
dress.
you need a new one.
Oh my god.
Maybe not.
So what are you doing?
Because if we touch the path,
Mhm.
we can't jump this far. It's too far. So kill some zombies and use them as stepping stones. You're not technically on the path. The only thing touching the path is the zombie.
I
I'm
fucking
not
love this game.
sure that the zombies care about that sort of...
I fucking love it.
How do you zombie? Animal handling check!
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Off of what she originally said.
So you run
haven't
to
discussed
jump
it.
onto a zombie on the path. Zombies are weird texture. Go to grab on, and you fall off and back onto the path, causing the zombie to immediately turn to you and take a swipe.
Oh.
Oh well.
How far off the path were you?
No,
He's like right on the edge.
yeah,
Somebody grab him! I'm gonna go try to grab him. and
so
hold him.
well, as a reaction, I will. Or am I able to attack?
I mean, yeah, after it tries to figure out if it hits you or not.
I got a 12 to
12
grab him
hit
and
you.
yank him
Yeah.
back.
No. Okay, so it goes to swipe at you and you're on the ground and it's not quite used to that. And it kind of it kind of like falls over next to you and kind of like tries to.
With my I'm going to with my sickle like try and stab its arm, the arm that's attacking me, try and stab it, and then I have a mace on my belt as well, and to try and hit it in the head.
Alright, go ahead and roll
Because
me
it's
attack
now
with
on the
disadvantage.
ground too, right?
Okay, so go ahead and roll me attack with disadvantage.
Goodness.
But it's melee.
Yeah, but you're on the ground.
Yeah, that's true.
You're prone.
But we're both prone.
Exactly, so it also has
negates.
disadvantage. No, because you don't have advantage against a creature that's prone next to you. Does it? Oh, yeah, you do, but you're also prone, so no, fuck you, disadvantage. If you're on the
They
ground,
cancel?
you're on the ground and you're trying to at a thing also on the ground.
Wouldn't they cancel?
But it
Straight
cancels
roll?
out.
Normally, yes, but I'm the DM and I say you're laying on the ground and you're trying to swing at something next to you.
I rolled a 12 to grab him and pull him back.
Okay, well, he first gets a chance to try to hit the thing.
Alright.
That is 12.
Okay, roll damage.
Alright. The first one was with the sickle,
Okay.
so that is a 1d4. 6.
Okay.
And then the next one, that's a hit. It was one higher for AC.
Yeah.
And that is a 1d6. 5.
Okay, so you do manage to hit the zombie a couple times. And it's still just trying to reach at you.
And then I feel a tug on my.
You actually
Cloak.
don't. What's your AC?
Oh, 14.
Yeah, you don't actually feel a tug.
Oh, okay.
What did you roll to grab him?
Just.
To hit?
What?
Oh, what roll was it?
I just wanted to grab him. He's right there on the path. He's just like a little off. I just want to grab him and pull him back.
I mean, you know, just go ahead and let her do it.
I don't know. I'm too busy attacking, so I don't know whether I know it. Like, I'm not objecting to it because I probably don't see it.
Well, I don't know. You suddenly feel something grabbing at you.
Okay.
Do you allow this to happen?
Actually, probably not because I'm assuming it's a zombie.
Okay, no, so you go to grab at him, but he kind of like wriggles free.
Quit it!
And I'm just Jesus. No.
Should have
don't
taken
have
about a minute,
anything.
and now taken like 10. Welcome to D&D.
What?
I said what should have taken like 20 seconds is now taken like 10 minutes. Welcome to D&D.
I'm sorry, I just don't have anything.
Where's Bardor and all of this?
Bard is a little bit behind,
Okay.
and he's kind of making his way
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
Now I rolled an 11.
Okay.
Jesus.
I mean, now do you let her?
I was getting up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was getting up and about to walk off.
Okay, so you stand up and you walk off. Okay. He stands and walks off of the path. And the zombie kind of like tries to get up and kind of fails because it had now been slashed across the legs and shit. Just...
I'm gonna bash its head in with my quarterstaff.
Alright, go ahead and roll the hit.
Okay.
At advantage.
I got a 50
With advantage.
with advantage.
Might be a crit, you know?
What are you doing with me here? Thingy. Oh. What is it doing again? What is that? I mean, I got a 15.
Plus your attack to hit with a quarterstaff.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I mean, that hits, so roll advantage.
Yeah.
I just want to see if you crit or not. So roll advantage.
Rude.
Well, the crit's important.
17.
The crit very much matters in this one. Okay, well, go ahead and roll damage.
Jesus. What am I doing on the first one again? Guys, I can't play this game without Jeremy nearby. I'm just saying.
You go to your attacks.
Help.
Well, it'd be
Should be-
actions.
Should be actions, and then it should tell you what your damage with quarterstaff is.
Yeah.
Are you holding with one hand or two?
One DC. Oh, just one. I'm just gonna bop it. I got a 5.
5 total? Yeah, you clock it in the head, and, and its head kind of caves in a little bit, but it keeps...
I swing at it.
Okay,
Just like behind her back, just
okay, go ahead and roll the hit
Whack-a-mole.
yeah,
with advantage.
with advantage. Good.
Guys, if I try to kill a zombie, is that like
Uh,
plants versus zombies?
7 plus
Little bit.
5.
Yeah, you
Druids
get good
versus
roll.
zombies is close enough.
5 again.
Oh yeah, and you right across its chest, and now its torso is like hanging on behind, and it keeps.
For God's
I was
sake.
doing the head.
Oh, head. Yeah, okay. So you slash in the head again, and part of its face comes off, and it continues to.
Is it coming
But
towards us?
we're also-
No, it's literally just going down the path now,
Oh.
as you're just cleaving bits and pieces off of it, and its fucking zombie fortitude is fucking doing good.
That's just not fair, and I'm gonna hit it with 2 beams.
Okay,
Okay.
roll the hit with disadvantage
Disadvantage?
because you are attacking from distance.
Okay, so the first one misses.
Well, what's the roll? You don't know.
5 plus 13. That'll hit?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a zombie.
Alright, and the second one is 16.
Okay, both hit. After the last 2 beams, you have a good chance to knock it the fuck out.
10 and 14.
And 14. First one's. So you start taking chunks off of its body. There's like zombie guts like in the road now, and it's still just. 18 and 16 for its zombie fortitude.
Okay, is it. We're not in initiative?
No.
I'm gonna keep hitting it.
Okay, you're just gonna keep hitting it.
You just want
Bard is also gonna go ahead and cast Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay, first one hits, second one hits.
Okay, hits.
Whoops.
Eldritch Blast is 10, right? D10?
Yeah. That's a 13 and a 14.
8. Fuck, for what Bard's bonus that is. Oh yeah, it's just D10, that's right. No bonus to it.
Yeah, not without agonizing. 13 and 14 for my damage.
14 and 14.
So that's a
Alright, so this is 4 fucking beams. This thing better fucking die. What was the first number?
13.
Okay, finally. Finally. All 4, it's both of you at the same time. Like, light white beams of not really holy energy, and then these, like, dark force tentacles from both of you just... This thing turns to mush in the street as all 4 just converge on it.
Poor thing. Right. Are you okay?
He's just sleepy.
He's tired.
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's a farmer. He's not used to staying up this late.
Tried to say.
Also, we usually end it before now.
We do usually end it before now.
It's by like 10.
We started a little bit late, and Jesus Christ, things that should have taken 5 seconds took like 20 minutes.
I mean, you wanted to fill this game.
I did want to fill it out, yeah.
So don't start with me.
Okay, well now you're all still on the other side of the path. There is a building in front of you, and there is a path blocking your way with zombies on it. And now it's just a smushed undead mess.
Well, I mean, either way, that solves the problem. We can't step on it, and we can't ride it, so...
Wait. I step on the dead zombie
God
that was
damn it.
crawling.
Okay, so you step on the mush dead zombie bits, and the other zombies that were on the path turn and start walking towards you.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. I have something I want to do,
Okay.
but it's gonna end in me entering the church. So if that's gonna start a whole new chapter...
If that's what happens, you'll disappear for now until they finally catch up to your ass. Are you gonna misty step into the church?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Sanctuary, walk across the path and into the church.
What does that do again?
Anything that wants to attack me needs a wisdom save.
Ah. Okay. You start walking casually across the path?
Yeah.
Wisdom save. Cool. What's the DC on that?
I think it's against my DC,
It should be.
which is a 16.
Okay. Math just failed. And massive failure.
Okay.
So, two zombies kind of turn and look at you, and then they kind of turn and go the other way.
They have the option to either not attack at all or to attack something else.
No, they just kind of keep fucking off. They
Okay.
don't, there's not really anything else to attack for them.
Alright. I'm crossing the path and I'm walking to the church.
Sin, is that like a field around you, or is that just you?
It's just me.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Hold on, I want to test something. And Sin just kind of like runs across the path at full speed. The zombie's gonna turn, and then she gets across the path, and then they kind of turn back around. You know you can just run! That's a thing that we could have done this entire time. Just run across the fucking thing. They're goddamn zombies. Why didn't we do this?
For the fun?
It's what we do.
He's not wrong. And Bard kind of waits for a good, solid opening and then just runs across.
Alright.
So Bard immediately starts walking toward the white building and gets to this large church-like building as you're just walking down the path all casually fucking badass status. Just
Walking
make
in.
some fucking bullshit rolls. Nope. Nope. Okay. And you just walk in, and Bard kind of walks along the path, and then he kind of shoots on inside and like whips around the corner real quick. The zombies don't seem to be charging after.
Is there like, I don't know, is there like a ground around the church that's like not where the path is? Like, is there like a
Yeah, no, there's just like straight up grass around the outside of the church. There's just a path that goes up to these main doors.
Okay.
And so Bard like flips onto this path and goes into the church, and the zombies don't seem to do anything.
I'll wait for an opening and I'll run across, but I won't go inside.
In order to go across, you have to go inside. The path goes to the church doors.
I thought you said there was grass around like the outside of the church.
Yeah, there's grass on the outside, but if you cross the path, then you just go to the other side of the church. Like, so you all already ran across the path,
Right.
the first path, and then there's a path that goes straight up to the doors. So there's the path, there's big old doors, there's a path here, there's just dirt around here. But then there's the doors, the path. So if you run across the path, you're just on the other side of the doorway.
Yeah, I don't want to go inside. I
Okay.
just want to go to that little like the grass like dirty section like around the church.
Yeah, so you don't have to, you just have to get across that first main path that
Yeah.
everyone can do no problem,
Yeah.
and then you're just there.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm inside.
Yeah, you are in fact. So is Bardur.
What do I see?
You'll next game. The rest of you kind of doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Alright. The rest of you'll do the same thing. You'll poop into the church. And that's when we'll pick it up next game.
I will say that my bow is drawn and arrow notched.
The heel arrow and not heel arrow.
Not heel arrow.
Okay.
There are two types of arrow in this world.
So hopefully next
Definitely
game,
the not heel
a
arrow.
bunch of dumbasses won't just decide they don't want to show up.
Not a bunch, just one.
One was confused and one made a decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I did.
Yeah.